right. Hello, everyone. We are back on the live stream. Welcome back. Just going to do a quick sound check. Okay, sounds good. We've got a good one coming up. Match between Neil Kazaross, legend of the game, and Schultz, one of the top women players and one of the top players out of Orange County. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're at the Los Angeles Open 2025. Thank you to Candace Mayron, Patrick Gibson, Frank Talbot, Cici Pedrosa. My name is Alex Eshaghian. Hello. Oh, thank you. Pete, I really appreciate it. You really like the Ed Rosenblum interview. Thank you very much. We'll try to do more of that. So Alex Eshaghian, I'm doing the stream, the commentary, and the social media. You can follow us on Facebook. I have my own YouTube channel. There's a link in the description, Alex Eshaghian Backgammon. If you love backgammon, you can become a member of the channel, and that'll give you exclusive access to the most popular videos. So people really enjoy those videos. And we have Nelly is the production assistant. Tournament committee, Ted Chi, Neil Kazaross, eligibility consultant. Looks like Ben Friesen is here. Calcutta Auctioneers, Art Benjamin. Our sponsor is Legacy Boards. You've been seeing the board on the stream. It's just fantastic. It's beautiful. People really love it. It's being auctioned, so there's a QR code. There's a link in the description where you can bid on it, or the QR code. You can also donate to the USBGF. Really appreciate the donations. The USBGF for everyone. So really appreciate it. So it's going to be the Undefeated Open round of 64. It's going to be between Neil Kazaross and Schultz. And we're going to have commentary by two outstanding players, Bill Phipps and Matt Cohn-Geier. You're going to really like that. So we'll go to a stream sponsor video, and we'll get started in about probably 15 minutes or so. Everyone, please hit the like button. Thank you for joining us at the 2025 Los Angeles Open. I hope you're enjoying the action. My name is Alex Eshaghian. I'm running the stream and the commentary. You can join me on my YouTube channel. Just look up Alex Backgammon, or there'll be a link at the bottom. We're playing on a beautiful Legacy Boards backgammon board exclusively on the stream, and during the breaks, we're going to be showing off some more of the Legacy Boards, and I have the owner of Legacy Boards Backgammon, Bill Shea, joining me. Welcome, Bill.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks for having us, and we're thrilled to be sponsoring the LA Open this year. We're delighted to have been invited.
My pleasure. How are you doing today?
Doing great. We're full on spring, it looks like.
Yeah. So for the viewers, these are some of the most beautiful high-end luxury boards, and we're going to talk through them, but I wanted to show some pictures of some of your boards. A lot of them are on the website, but we'll start by showing the viewers some of those, and maybe you can go through and give us about like a one-sentence overview of each one.
Absolutely delighted to. Yeah, this is All Hands. It's a beautiful poplar piece with really striking playing field, blue and white, and then dark blue. It stands out. It's absolutely beautiful. Great little piece. Blush was my wife actually made Blush. Got a little bit of crocodile in there, and again playing pieces and dice and doublers that beautifully accent the leather and the playing field.
Canyon.
Canyon is a sycamore. It's a pretty unusual piece of wood, but just amazing. The wood's the star of that show. Citron is another heartfelt piece. Just really beautiful colors. It'll stand out in any room. It's a great little piece to play. Clean slate's another one. Very sort of regal colors, burgundy set against that gray. Really nice little piece to play.
This looks almost similar to the board on the stream.
Very similar. Not quite as dark a playing field as clean slate. Will be a little bit lighter, but very similar. And yeah, we'll have photos. Well, you'll be able to see it during the streaming. Yes.
And Crush.
Crush is a favorite. That's a table, and just it's obviously Orange Crush for those of us that remember the beverage. The colors just told us that's what we needed to name it. A really neat piece with great natural accents to the wood. One of my favorites. We actually made that for a New York interior designer, and just a really dramatic piece of wood set on a beautiful table base. Really fun piece. We still have that piece. It's still available on the website. Envy, it does just that. It just you're going to be the envy of the tournament playing in that one. Really neat little piece. Again, we throw some croc in there that just accents really nicely. And Frank is another favorite, where when we bought this piece of wood, we didn't quite know how we'd do it, but we literally had to stitch it together due to the natural checks, they're called, but the cracks in the wood. But what would result in is just a striking, also a table, coffee table, really striking accent to any room, and neat little piece to play.
Yeah, we were talking about that on social media. It looks like almost the shape of a football or something like that. And it's I guess it's not an ideal for one person to sit in one direction and the other to sit, but this is more of a piece of art for me.
Well, I'll take that and run it. You know, when you sit at a table like that, you actually sit above the table, so that I'm losing the word, but the irregular shape of it really doesn't affect you that much when you're playing it. No, it really doesn't. We've played it, and but what it does, to your point about, we hope somebody does see it as a piece of art, but maybe a good way to sort of introduce the stuff we do. But we really try to maintain. That's from the crotch of a tree, which you can see on the right side. That's a big growth coming off the tree, a trunk coming off the tree, and what it does to the wood is really tough to match. It just gives incredible accents and colors, and just an explosion of colors. And then we were able to tie in the bow ties, which just offset everything and really, again, accentuate the natural aspects of the wood. But again, a striking playing surface, very visible, very easy to play, and really fun little piece.
Are the bow ties decorative, or do they keep the wood together?
They do a little bit of both. You can play with them from a decorative perspective, which I love to do. It's a little complex to do them, and you risk the wood doing them, but they do stabilize the wood a little bit. When we buy our wood, the wood's gone through a lot, and it's all designed to remove some of the natural flaws, some of the natural elements that a tree goes through before it's cut down. It dries it and stabilizes it, but it also, as it dries it, it produces the cracks a lot of times because the moisture comes out, the wood cracks. So we use the bow ties to stabilize it a little bit more and make sure that in a piece like this, it's not going to come apart, or continue to dry and get worse in those cracks. We try to leave it for its natural beauty, but up close and personal, it's a really fun thing to be able to add those artistic elements and stabilize the wood at the same time. So it's a little indulgent.
Very good, very good. Go on to the next one.
Gramercy was a piece that we did to sort of show off, and it needed what are called splines. Those are, again, to stabilize the wood on the left side. Those are two very small checks, but maybe a better example of, let me be a little artistic in how I stabilize the wood. And there's actually more of those on the underside. So a lot goes into that, and probably, you probably got 15 to 20 hours worth of work in stabilizing the wood before we even start making the playing surface. So a lot goes into that, but the result is a really neat, striking, added accent to a backgammon board.
Next one.
That is Hang 12. It's got a shape it's a cherry slab, and most often the wood and the wood's accents, we don't start on the leather until we've finished the wood for obvious reasons maybe, but we obviously don't want to get any of the finishing materials on the leather. So by the time we put the leather in, the wood's told us what kind of leather we should use, what colors. And this certainly did that. But when we were finishing the wood, it took on the shape of almost a surfboard, which LA folks know those well. But sitting on, it's a table. It's got really neat, very contemporary legs, but it's got rounded edges on both ends, hence the Hang 12 name. Most of us remember Hang 10, but a play on words.
Yeah. High roller.
High roller is it's a bar height table, and in this one we were able to bring in some really neat leather. You can see there it's almost, folks familiar with cowboy boots know it as verdigris, but it's that stitching on a cowboy boot, and the leather has that accent in it, and it really gives it a very sort of masculine, cool feel to it, and the leathers, the gray and the tan leathers, just fold in beautifully to the wood and to that verdigris playing field. And then we can have a lot of fun with the checkers, as you see we did there.
Right.
Lucky Strike's a brand new one. My wife made that. My wife makes boards right alongside with me. Retired nurse, so to speak. She's too young to retire, but she's doing this. But her color sense is remarkable, and it's a beautiful little piece. It's a black walnut, but the playing surface is just explosive. It's so pretty, and then the checkers really accentuate it nicely. Mistress is another favorite. It's you talk about colors integrating to the wood. This one, again, we finished the wood in advance of using the leather, so we really were able to maximize the look and the coordination of the leather integrating to the wood just magnificently. Carrie, my wife, made that one as well. Really pretty piece. Also a table.
Now this one is probably my favorite one out of the slides in this deck because of what's called the live edge wood, the Nautica. Tell us about that, please.
Nautica, that is it's a maple slab, and when we got that piece of wood, it had so many unique attributes to it. What you see towards the left there are actually, those are bug holes. Bugs live in trees, and that's one of the things that we get rid of through the drying process before we acquire the wood. But also rot and sort of degradation as a tree ages. But when we get it, it's very stable, it's very stabilized, but we then have the opportunity to really maximize it. And as you can see, that here is so dramatic. And the table base we put it on it's a very stout, really impressive table base, but it just reeks of that sort of nautical feel, and almost a compass like rig there underneath it. But we were able to bring a very stately playing surface into the piece, and with the colors and the natural elements this had, which are very dramatic. This is on the website, and
Cohn-Geier and Bill Phipps. I will take a picture of you shaking hands. If you would like to take a break, just put this on there.
There'll be lots of breaks
in this orientation.
I take a lot of restroom breaks. I go and come right back. I don't muck around. Don't waste time.
Okay. Please shake hands.
Okay. Beauty and the Beast.
1, 2, 3.
We're not sure which is which.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Give me like 30 seconds.
Oh. Let's see if I remember how to play this game.
Oh, stop it. How was dinner?
Just had some curry from downstairs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the meals I like, though.
The deli place, what it is called.
Yeah.
Bistro.
Yeah.
Vegetable curry's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's better than it used to be.
We can start now. Here we go. Neil Kazaross from Illinois playing the blue checkers at the top.
You eating in the main restaurant
Car
here?
Schultz, the red checkers at the
one
bottom
like
from
the bar
California,
area.
bearing off on the right.
Okay.
We're playing on a beautiful Legacy Boards Backgammon
Right,
board.
right.
We're
What do
you have in the
auctioning
bar
off.
area?
Click the QR code at
Is
the
it any
upper
good?
right.
It wasn't racing. It was like
Beautiful
a
board. The
Oh,
checkers
yeah.
are going to be different
Okay.
for the
Yeah,
people that
I
buy
think
the
I
board,
usually get little
and the
checkers.
accessories don't
Okay,
come
we
with
gotta
it.
wait for Alex to tell us
We're
to go.
using the
Alex,
Ace
you
Point
ready?
Backgammon
Yeah,
Matchmasters
we just said wait
score
30
sheet.
seconds.
We did?
He's
11-point match.
We wait for him or
ZMF
what?
clock, 22 minutes, 2 minutes per point with a 12-second
Five.
delay. That's a Wycliffe Brothers doubling cube and the Backgammon Learning Center clock. So Matt Cohn-Geier and Bill Phipps will be here momentarily. Kara opens with a 5-4 splitting. Neil gets a double 3. Fantastic roll. Makes the 5-point on head and the 3-point. And Kara rolls a 6-2 from the bar. Outstanding. Comes in and hits. Now Neil has a 6-4. Comes in with the 4. That's 4. So now one option is actually to play 13-7. That brings another checker into the zone. It does leave a direct shot, but you have a stronger board in the event of a hitting exchange. This is another option. Spreading things out. You don't want 2 on the midpoint, on the 24 point. So now Kara has a 5-1 to play. So she can hit once, and in these types of positions, sometimes it's thematic to actually hit again despite having a weaker board. So Bill Roberti talks about this in his new 3-volume series. Relatively new, how to play the opening backgammon. Double 5, that's a great roll. For those who are not familiar, when you roll a double in backgammon, you play 4 times. So the first 2 come in, then the third one hits, 13-8, and then hits again. 2 on the bar is better by far. 6-2, okay, so now Neil can hit with 6s, cover with 7s, and hit with 2s and 3s, but there's still a lot of work to do. 6-5, so what are you going to do? It's not ideal. Maybe cover the 8-point with 13-8 with the 5. And then, hey Dennis, you got Michi, right? Is it frozen? No, the audio is different. Why don't you sit down? Here, we've got Matt Cohn-Geier. No, the clock is running. Yeah, have a seat, please. I'm gonna go fix the camera.
The waiting around is worse than anything.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I see. Alex is frozen, and well, here I am. Cube is in the middle, so I guess Neil is playing on for a gammon. Okay. Oh, nail Kazaross. He's nailing.
Maybe it's Neil's blood cousin or something.
He's nailing her, huh? This, I don't think this is too good, right? You have 4 guys back, and all she has to do is make any sort of anchor. I don't know. Neil apparently disagrees. She does have a lot of blots, but the shift, okay. And I think 13-8, but this is fine also.
I've played 2.
I don't think She rolls an ace. Super easy take, not even double.
Yeah, we got enough pens here.
So this looks like the right idea to me. I mean, you could question whether to play 13-8 with come down from the point with the last one or come out, but this is fun. Now it's definitely too good. So one around, another around, diversifying. That's fine. And the last one out from the anchor. For lack of any real alternative, I mean, I guess you could play to the 11-7 instead of 20-16, but I don't really see why this should be better than playing. I don't think this one, right? I mean, I guess nothing is a big mistake in this position. But that double 5 would have made the 4 point if you had a check around the 9 point. I guess it makes the 6 point. Yeah, okay, so no problem.
6-3 cannot come in. I think the viewers like it when you read the dice, so that's a 4-3 for Neil.
Okay, it looks like Neil's gonna win a gammon if nothing crazy happens. I mean, Kara needs like a double 4 or something along those lines, and that hope is now dashed.
That's what I thought at first, but apparently she pronounces it Kara.
Kara, okay.
And she is the president of the USBGF board of directors, or the chairman of the board.
Oh, the chairman of the board, okay. So we got Kara and Nail.
Nail?
Nail.
Who wrote that?
Okay. This looks like pretty much a gammon, so it's going to be 2-0 Neil. It's 3 off, just in case of the backgammon accident. Or gammon. Oh my god, don't get backgammoned. Oh no. You better come in and get out. Okay, she saves the backgammon. So just gonna be 2-0.
So for the novice viewers who haven't played before, what is a gammon?
No, you got blitzed.
Gammon is when your opponent gets all the checkers off before you get any checker off. And a backgammon is when they get all the checkers off and you still have a checker in their home board or on the bar.
And that's worth triple and a gammon is double.
Correct.
So if the cube is in the center, it's worth 2 and 3 respectively. But if it's on 2, then it's 4 and 6 respectively.
Yeah, so Kara had no chance to bear off a checker, but was at least able to get out of Neil's home board with the last double 4. Okay.
I'm going to play 13-8.
Yeah, 13-8 is also possible, just to put a checker on the 8 point. You do kind of like to hit loose with the stronger board, but getting a spare to the stripped 8 is also nice. So I'm not really sure what.
Yeah, part of the reason why hitting loose with the 5-2 on the second roll is right is because you unstack the 6 point from 5 checkers to 4. Here it's not as urgent.
Yeah, I mean, you do have the stronger board, so you like to hit with the stronger board, but I think probably 13-8 was Oh, what is this? No.
Double 5.
No, but why not make the 3-point while he's on the bar? Instead of, I mean, you're leaving a shot anyway. Do you want to have a 3-point board instead of a 2-point board?
Yeah.
This looks like a pretty reasonable cube, right? You've got 4s, 5s, 3s, and 1s to hit. I think that's a missed cube. I mean, if you make the 5-point, it's like a market loss almost regardless of what Neil rolls.
Does the score in this case make you want to double a little bit more aggressively?
A little bit. You know, it certainly doesn't incline you to be less aggressive than you would be at 0-0.
You want to join? All right. This is Teri. Remind me your last name? Harmon. That's right. She's going to join Matt. Hi.
Welcome.
Advanced intermediate level player.
Cool. Well, welcome to the stream. We need one more. Okay. Don't you want? Yeah, this does like you better. You can have the leash. Alright, so where should I talk?
I'm Teri.
Hi, Teri. Where should I speak? Can they hear me?
Is this thing on?
Yeah, I gotta lean in. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be great to know who is watching this right now, and maybe if people could just write in there really quick whether they're beginner, intermediate, or advanced / open. It'd be good to know who our audience is. So if you can just type something in, let us know who you are. What kind of a backgammon player are you?
Got a great game. Yeah, Kara's got a 3-4 back / holding whatever game. She should come out from the. She's gonna have a 4-point if she just comes out from the 3-point. Yep. Seems like the right move. You wanna get some connectivity, get some guys into the outfield. Is it Kara or Kara? Kara, I told. I actually said Kara when I first went down. That was a mistake. So Neil should come down the 3-point. You for sure don't want to come down the ace-point. I mean, you could hit 6 and 3, but that doesn't. No, I don't like this. Yeah, I hate this. Right, you're closing the blot when you're outboarded, and you're sticking guys on the ace-point. You don't want to get primed. 5-1, so now you should split the back checkers, 24 to 23. Yep.
There's a local club here in California.
Oh. Kara makes the 5-point, and now a fan. This looks like double in the take, I think. Take looks like the easy part. You have a checker on the bar against the 3-point board, potential for a 4-prime, but I do think it's a take. She did have 3-men back, so
No, she's too busy.
not too much ammunition.
Give me that spot, Arya.
Who's your dog thing?
Dog has left the building. Oh, there she is.
That dog is thoroughly bored. But
Dog says take.
Dog says take. So for anybody listening, we've got your dog with us. He's awfully cute. He's what, a golden retriever?
Yeah.
Barking yesterday.
so I noticed it's the round of 64. How many?
I don't know. I don't think you go 8 to 7. I mean, you do block the checkers on the ace point, but the 7 shot really hurts you. Anyway, here she's gonna make the 4 point. Yeah, still has to leave the 7 though. Okay, double 5 makes it forward, but yeah, it picks up 20 pips in the race, makes the 3 point also. Seems clear to do that because I don't even know if you get hit on a 4. I guess you get hit on like 4-6, but you don't get hit with a roll like, let's say 3-1 or 4-1. You know, Kara doesn't want to break her anchor to hit. She wants to build a prime and contain the back two checkers. So, yeah, I would double 4. Double 4 makes the 10. It makes the 14 for sure, and make the 9. Yeah, I guess you make the 9. Now you almost have a 5 prime.
So why not run the back checkers as well?
Yeah, she should run the back checkers.
Oh, she will.
Yeah, and then she just does a double on like almost anything because she has almost every roll to cover the 8 point. Yeah, so Neil is winning the race, or I think Neil is winning the race. And the anchor, you know, if she doesn't roll a perfecta, he's gonna have at least a roll to just anchor up.
3 pips on the roll.
I think it's a pretty safe, right? I mean, there's no one on the bar. You might not make the 8 point. Even if you, let's say she rolls a 5-3, you can make the 4 point and leave a bunch of returns, or make the 8 and then find a. It must be a super easy take, right?
I don't know.
How could this not be a take?
Yeah, we have 5-4, 5-2, 4-2.
Yeah,
5-2,
so there are good numbers, and then
and nothing particularly bad. A lot of pressure to anchor next round.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of pressure to anchor next round.
I'm not saying it's not a take. I'm just saying it's not so clear.
Say she rolls 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, pretty much any ace. Any 6 up is okay, or like 6-4, you know.
Neil's taking over, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, let's say she points on you, and then you just like come in on the 3 point or something and make a different anchor. Like, it's not that bad, right? I don't think it's that bad. And I don't think you really wait to get gammon. Okay, makes the 4 point. Pretty good roll. Doesn't leave any return shots. Those are 3-2 and anchors. Now he just has a super easy take, right? Like, it's just the holding game. Although double 3 makes a 6.
Now you're buying to 6.
Now the market is way overshot. But you know, even this is not the end of the world.
This
like
is,
3 point
it's
game
on the
wins
cusp
a
of
lot
25%, right?
You have a pass, but I mean, yeah, Neil would certainly pass if doubled. But,
Sure.
but
You're on the cusp.
But you have, it's not so easy to win. Double 4 is going to hurt the timing situation. Neil may not have a good board.
Probability that she will win with this unformed position.
I think she's over 80%. Not by much. Let's call it something like 80 plus. 6-1 ups the diamond a lot. And now 6-4 breaks to 8. And most 6s, next turn are not going to be good. 5-3 will clear the line. And 6-5 brings both out, and yeah, now it's a race. Kara's winning the race, but you know, not crazy that Neil could just roll a big set or something.
Or 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, opposite of that.
Well,
That's not ready to
if you're losing, you know, you just go from losing to losing more. You were already in second place. Yeah, it doesn't hurt you as much as it hurts the person who's winning to keep rolling 2-1 over and over. Yeah, Kara is very likely to win this game. Although,
and then there's the sixes.
It's not. Yeah, it's kind of up for grabs after double six. 3-1 response. Wow. Still got nothing for Neil. Got a lot better than was. 6-5 is a pretty good shot. Like okay, an 8 is acceptable. You know, it's not like a 2-1 or anything. She's got the what? The 22 pips? No, he can't be there yet. She's got 22 pips and he doesn't even have a pure 4 roll.
Thinking though.
Yeah. Oh, 3-1. Oh my God.
Now he's thinking.
Now she's got 18 pips. Yeah. Now it's gonna be a redouble. And pass, right? Yeah.
4-1.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
This is why we like backgammon. You just never know how it's going to turn out. You think you're ahead and then you're not.
Yeah.
You don't need mine.
Speak into this.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about.
Still Phipps at Hotmail. Phipps.
Makes the 4 point. No, don't do it. Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, you don't want to. I mean, when Kara has her 5 point, 3-1 should go 18. 5.
Does Kara ever make a mistake? Since I sat down, it's been perfect.
She's a strong player. Not a slouch. Makes the 5, makes the anchor. Making the 23 seems like a good play. Don't want to play too loose with too many plots. 6-5 is 13-2. I don't think that's
clear.
I think so. You're playing a holding game.
I agree.
Playing a holding game, giving up a 3 shot really costs you.
Yep.
2 is probably 2 down from the midpoint. Count if you have. Oh, you can run out. Yeah, make it does. I didn't even see that.
In that position there, all the
I'll move the race. 3.
That's not good. 16?
16? Yeah, you're up 16 after the roll. I don't think it's this, right? I mean, the board is so weak.
Both often did.
Right. I think if you're gonna make a,
I don't think he looked at it.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily looked at it. Would have been smacked, but. not less shots, right?
Why not add 6-5 in there?
Yeah, I think 6 to 5. I think it's the same number of shots.
No.
And, no?
There's no 5-6.
No, 6 to 5. Play 6.
There we go.
Isn't it the same number of shots?
What am I missing? It's 13 here, right?
13, and the other one is 13.
What,
right?
which one am I missing?
5-3.
Oh, 5.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Also 5-2. Yeah. I don't know. So Neil doubles. He's winning the race, right? And a tough decision for Kara.
I think she'll pass it.
Here, Neil's up 9. It's not that much in the race, right? 11 minus 7. 4 pips only?
Did it get tighter?
I don't know.
What is the pip count for each?
I think Neil is up 4 pips. If I get it right. Okay, I think that's fine. You know, Neil has the gaps on the 7 and 3 point. I mean, the deuce point by itself is probably not a great game, but you don't rate to get gammon, then you could also make a board and then hope to hit a shot. Might not be a take, but you hate to give up the midpoint when you're playing the deuce point game.
She doesn't want to put the 8 on
Especially
the 2.
just playing with 4 blots, like then you can't even have a flash shot. So I don't this doesn't feel like the right idea. Right, it's not only do you lose the outfield pressure on the midpoint, but like now, even if you got a fly shot and hit it, you have 6 blots when you break the anchor.
So where does
I don't know if there's a reason to give a fly shot.
Well, he has room to do whatever he wants with her 4 blots out there.
Yeah, he could do this and just say that if she rolls 5-2, 1-6, or 5-3, she's not going to hit. I don't know if that's true.
This seems reasonable.
Yeah, this seems reasonable. You leave 5-3 and 5-4. I don't know if those will hit. Yeah.
We'll find out.
That's pretty scary. This was the problem with the last play, right?
Well, she can make both those planks and then...
Yeah, you can make a 5-point board. Yeah, things look great on a fan. They look horrible on an entry. You're gonna get 6 potentially backgammoned.
She can make the 3 and 4 with this.
So 1-5, is that the only entering number?
1-5 would miss.
Yeah.
Yes, 1-5 would miss.
So 11 decent.
11 rolls where you're in good shape.
And then
25 where you're probably getting gammoned. So this seems like a normal play. I mean, I would have probably played F8, but that's fine.
Her 5s are still open.
Yeah, now Neil doesn't really want to give more flash shots because the flash shots are pretty strong.
Oh,
5-4.
Whoa.
Twice, huh?
Okay.
Nice shot.
What's happening on a fan? He rolled double aces. Hits and covers. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't even see that you can come in, hit, and cover. That's a good roll. 4-2. So 9-5-6-4. Now he has to play somewhat aggressively because he has the checker back. So can't just wait around forever. 2-4 comes in and hits.
Nice.
Yeah. And on a fan here, what's happening now? I don't think it's too good, and yeah, it's just a redouble and pass. Bolt bears. Anybody in the chat? Anybody out there?
Dimitri over top.
Hey, Dimitri.
Hello to Michael Pine, Peter Albury, Fama BG, Rob Brace.
What do they have to say?
They're saying hello, thank you, talking about some of the moves.
Nice. You want to split with the 5-1 after the opponent makes the 4-point, but it doesn't work out in this case. Oh, that's a nice play. He's picking up the checker on the 2-point. Okay, there we go.
Sorry.
On a fan, it'll be double and take. Very clear take. Okay, 2 comes in, 4 comes down. Now Neil doesn't really have anything because she has an anchor. 4 should split to the 20 at least, and yeah, I think this is the play. Duplicating the 4 to make the 9 and to point on you.
Why is that better than 18?
Because you unstack the midpoint, 5 checkers on the midpoint and nobody in the outfield. Wow, this is a gutsy play, but okay. Duplicating a 4. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, if you only had 4 checkers on the midpoint, maybe you play to the 18.
It's just so much nicer to be attacked on the 18 than on the 5.
Yes. That's true. But you know, not having 5 checkers on the midpoint is always nice.
Alright.
8 to 7, I don't really see the point of 8 to 7. I guess it maybe minimizes shots, but it's not even that clear to me. And you'd rather make the 8-point than the 7-point anyway. Double 6, you actually make the 8 from the back. So I would just play 11 to 10. So 8-point is a better blocking point, and better for coming home also. 5 hits. 2 should continue, I guess, to minimize shots and minimize blots and other destructive stuff. Any other 2 is destructive to your position, and this one is constructive, so 5-2 consonant hits. Fan. Neil just doubles. I mean, this is a super easy take.
Very easy take. I'm surprised he didn't think of it.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't at least stop to think, but I guess he just thinks if he doubles quickly, maybe she'll drop somehow. And she does drop. Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't like that decision. I mean, I'm sure Neil did have the 5-point on Kara's 5-point, but I mean, he had 3 checkers back, and I think the race was totally fine for Kara.
Might have been a case of just knowing your opponent.
Right.
Zavrol cannot hear Matt.
Okay. How about if I, kiss the microphone? Does that help?
Closer.
Closer. If I, Can you hear me?
Like most people thought 5 minutes on that cue.
Yeah.
So is it customary for you to take breaks in the middle of your matches? Or only...
Sure.
I mean, if you think things are going in the wrong direction, does that help you to stand up, walk around, and do whatever you need to do?
Some people think that. I mostly just take breaks when I feel like I have the need to take a break just because I'm,
Fried.
Yeah. I need to go to the bathroom, or I need
to
clear my head, or my dog. Or, I don't know. I don't try to, do anything to change the dice. But if I'm not feeling my sharpest, mentally or physically, then maybe I'll take a break.
Some players strategically use the breaks.
Yeah.
Is that do you?
No, I don't buy. I don't buy into that.
Never.
Never.
I never think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to clear my head or something. Maybe that's a time to take a break. But
when you find yourself throwing the dice against the wall, things like that, that's usually generally, I think, when most people like to take a break.
I've never seen Matt throw his dice against the wall.
Yeah,
I've never
I should
actually
do
seen
it
him
sometime.
mad. It's been
I
a
should.
long
I
time
should.
since I get
I
mad.
should throw my dice against the wall sometime. I've
See
been
what
playing
happens.
20 years and never done it. It must be. I must. I should do it at least once. Yeah.
No,
Maybe it's a good
when I
idea.
was new to backgammon, I would get very emotional about it.
Would you?
And as I got better and matured just in life, I kind of fell by the wayside. And then you play enough backgammon, like Neil. I bet Neil's played half a million backgammon games in his life. You've kind of seen it all. There's nothing to get too fired up about.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked about Alex's book yet, so everybody knows about it?
The
So if
backgammon back game strategies.
Yeah, I think it's the only book that focuses on the back game. So for
Mhm.
anybody that's listening that wants a good technical book, there's a good 300 pages in there focused strictly on the back game.
Yeah.
I think we're getting ready to start.
It's a
up. Here we go.
good back game book.
We're back.
2-1. Neil's gonna slot. Okay, and Carl's 4-3. I'm not sure at the score. I guess this is reasonable. I mean, they're both reasonable, obviously. For money, technically best is coming up from the back.
She got two of them.
Yeah, and Neil is way behind in the race now, and so he has a kind of idea to play a back game or holding game of some sort with hopefully
Maybe he read Alex's book.
1 to 2 anchors. Yeah. 4 makes the 10 point. 5 should come down. Oh, she can make the 9 point, but
the 9.
yeah, making the 9 is also a play. But this seems like a fine position. 4-3. I would think you want to put a builder on your 9 point and play 24-21. Like you kind of like to make the 20. Yeah, you like to make the 4-point anchor because you have contact with the point on the 10 point.
Oh, she's got another one.
6-2. That makes the 4 point. You don't want to. I mean, you could. Yeah, you could hit outside, but then you send a 6th checker back, and then he has all kinds of options for where to anchor up. Double 3 comes in, makes the 5, and 13 to 10.
Too many.
I wouldn't be scared of getting hit when I have 5 men back already. I think you want to have flexibility to make a point in the outfield or to make the bar. 6-1. This is really not flexible. I would probably play 13-7, 9-8, or 5-4. Could I even play 5-4? Like a 3, is he gonna hit? Is Carr gonna hit 24-21 or 6-3 with a 3? Not necessarily clear. 9-8 is fine, I guess. 6-3 double hits on the 18 and 3 point. Five 2 enters both, and is this anything yet? Probably not quite. 2-1 makes the 3 point. Just consolidate the inner board and make sure Neil never makes that point. You're not really worried about getting hit on Neil's bar point because, he's got so many guys back. It would be very hard for him to just bring everything around before you get that checker free.
She was thinking about it.
Yeah. She made a good play.
And he'll make the 3.
This is going to be a double, I'm pretty sure. I expect Kara to double now that she has the 3 point. And
I expect a
Neil's
take.
not really gonna like it. Yeah,
Is
he
too
might
good?
take. No, she can't be too good.
I know.
I don't like the roll there. 6-2, I guess you can play 18 to 10, or you can hit loose and play 8 to 6. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe hit loose. That makes sense. 18 to 10 is, yeah, reasonable. 6-1 makes the 2-5 game much stronger than the 1-5 game. Now I don't expect. Okay. So now that was a weird sequence because I think Kara got significantly worse when Neil upgraded to the 2-5 instead of the 1-5, right? I would have expected her to double before he made the 2-point anchor. Yeah, I think that would have been a stronger position.
Would he bring the two back?
What's this? Oh yeah, I'll make a point in the outfield. Get a couple checkers past the mini prime.
They're all stripped.
6-4, you gotta just clear the 13 point. You gotta get off that point while you can, and you know Neil's hits leave some returns.
There's no other play.
Yeah, plus there's no other play. Would be forced by logic, as they say. 5. I mean, I think you have to. I don't know. Is it crazy to not hit?
If he hits, then he's wide open. And lost an anchor.
Probably hit, right?
I
You have a
think you have to
3-point
hit.
board.
I do think
You have
it's
a
crazy to
3-point board. She has a 3-point board. I think you just hit. And if you don't hit, he's gonna start. Kara's gonna just start bearing you in, and maybe she'll make a 4-point board.
Oh wow.
Neil is saying that his back game is strong enough to wait, but I'm not sure that that's really the case. Like, he has a 2-5 game. It's not like he has a 2-3-5 game, you know? Like, I mean, you do like to be kind of patient in back games, but I don't know that he'll get another double shot. Like, you might get another single shot. Maybe. 4-1, 6-3, okay. So, I mean, you know, Neil's board has improved, but Kara's like a pretty big favorite at this point. 5-1 is awkward. Makara is still a big favorite, right? She just, I mean, she has some numbers that clear the point without leaving any shots, and then the game is almost gin. And even if she does leave a shot, Neil has to actually hit it. So... 5-1, not a great roll. 8-3, 8-7, leaving 20 numbers. And yeah, if
You
Neil
can leave 11, but it's
time. if you yeah, you have to clear the 8-point. I mean, breaking your 4-point is not a reasonable play. You just you could lose a gammon by getting missed that way.
It's less hits.
Yeah, it is less hits on this roll, but you're gonna have like 4 rolls before the game is over if you get missed each time.
Oh, she's doing it.
Oh no, I hate this play. I hate this play. If you clear the 8-point and get missed, it's close to gin. Yeah, this is the play. Wait, please hit the clock. There you go. And, you know, 16 out of 36 times they miss, and then you're cruising home. Double 4s will create a gap, whether she likes it or not. She has to do this. I guess there's a question of whether Neil should come off the 23-point. 5-4, 4-3, 6-4, 4-2, and 4-1 would be kind of swing-ish. Double
Also
4.
even 1-1 and 1-2.
Yeah, but I mean 5-4, 4-3, 4-2 are such a. I don't know. I
Nice.
would have strongly thought about it. Yeah.
What are the gammon probabilities at this point?
Kara's a bit, well, now
Very
she's
large favorite.
now she's just winning a gammon. Before she was a favorite to win a gammon, even before the double 4. So, now it's almost impossible for Neil to run off if he doesn't hit a shot. I mean, he would need at least a big set plus more. They do say there's no such thing as a gin gammon, but this is as close as it gets, I believe. I think you want to get 2 crossovers if you're Neil. I would play like 14-10, 11-6. But I suppose it doesn't make a huge difference.
Alright.
Double 4s. So if Neil, let's say Neil gets 1, 2, 3. Let's say he goes 9, 5, and 7, 3, and then he rolls a double 6 after. Can he save? It looks like he can save. Yeah.
Should he slot the 2 for another shot?
But is that clearly, even if,
I think I would go for the crossover, right? Is that?
I mean, but he is
I don't
getting
know.
a
He's
shot
getting
in
a
a lot of,
shot on a lot of sequences.
Right,
Yeah.
and he's hitting something, you're going to have to contain it. You're right. I don't think it makes sense to just play for your double 6s.
This is why you should have played 11-6
Yeah.
last roll.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
I did notice he put extra vim on that.
This is a gin gammon unless Kara rolls 2-1.
Throwing dice with force is
Any
intimidating.
roll other than 2-1 is gin. Okay. So it's gonna be 5-7, 7-5 for Kara. 4 away, 6 away. I have to make sure I lean back into the microphone. Okay. Double ace. This should make the 7 and 5. 6-4, not a great number. Makes it a 2-point. This is a nice thing about making the 7-point. 5 makes the 8, and then the 3 comes down. It's better than making the 3 for sure because you have a 4 prime. 6-5, 2 down, and is this something? Probably
And she hits.
not.
His
No,
scores
she's not gonna
reversed.
hit. She'll make the 4-point. Yeah, the 4-point is so strong. I mean, she could make the 20-point.
I think she's hitting.
I don't think so. I don't like this play. I mean, if you make the 4-point, isn't that just close to gin? Like, it looks like you make the 4-point and you double any roll.
I'm not. Why would you stay on the 18 if you're hitting?
Yeah, I did not like that double 2 play.
I would at least keep it going to minimize the shot.
And Kara just rolls immediately. I mean, the double gammon at 4 away is pretty big. So, like, you know, you don't have to think of it like you have a huge lead in the match. You can think of it like, you know, I'm 4 away and my opponent has to be very careful with taking. Like, if I were Neil, would I take this cube? Like, I'd be very, very upset about being doubled, right? So 6-1 is just 13-7, 6-5. Double 2 is a great shot. Makes the 22. Gets just starts to see daylight. Oh, you can make this, but then you have to make the 22 point. Or you can't stay back on the 24 point and leave your checker split, right? I don't see that making any sense.
So assuming you estimate the 22, it's a question of slotting the 9 or the 7.
Oh, you slot the 7 to play with fewer
With
blots.
1 blot.
Yeah. Good cover for your ace point. Yeah, good play. I mean, I guess could have played 8-6 twice even. Maybe that's crazy. I don't know.
Why not?
Should
in?
just play 7-6. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is better. This is illegal. Okay.
I wonder what she saw that made her prefer that.
I don't know. 7-6 is just a better distribution.
Yeah, not stripping the 7 down.
Yeah, you like having a spare on your 6 point. You don't want to have a strip 6 point. 6-4, is this like
Yikes.
forced? It
Yikes.
looks like it's.
What is this?
I mean, is this really forced?
Wow.
What about just like why not
something.
just 13-9-7-1?
Yeah.
Like cover your ace point and just say if
There
she
we go.
doesn't roll a 6, you're gonna hit her next turn. Is that
Maybe he wants to get a back game going.
well? He's a long way from a back game.
Well, if she
He
comes
doesn't
in
want to
and
get
hits him
hit.
twice.
I think he's just trying to get her to fan.
Yeah.
But
That would be number 1.
there's a lot of
What's the cube action
risk.
here?
Nothing.
I don't think it's a cube. Like if you
Certainly
fan,
worthy of a think here.
if you fan, you hate having doubled, and if you hit, did you lose your market? Depends on what he comes in with, right? So, and if you don't, there's also plenty of numbers that come in and don't hit. Okay, now you lost the market. You gotta double this.
I don't think you can't be too good.
This is nowhere near too good. I mean, Neil could just enter with a number that makes us bored. And Neil should pass, yeah.
8-5. Kara.
So 6-5 runs out to the midpoint. 4-3 should play, come down with the 4 and split with the 3. And 3-2 is just going from the midpoint to the 8 point, I believe. I don't think this is the play. I don't know. It's not a terrible play, but when you have one checker back, you kind of want to unstack the really heavy midpoint. 5-2 makes and plays from the back, 24 to 22, I believe. I mean, you do want to unstack the midpoint, but you really don't want to get hit in the outfield either. 3-1 makes the 5 point.
Both of them.
Yeah, the offensive 5 point. Yeah, the 5 on Neil's side of the board. Carl only has 8 checkers going forward, and if you make the defensive 5 point, you're just in a losing race, and you're not really trying to play a racing game. You
I
want to
imagine he's thinking about making the 9.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think making the 5 is just stronger because, you know, you want to build an innerboard point. This is a pretty good shot. Do you just come to the 6 point? 22 to 6? I mean, you have a lot of ways to play it. You can make the 4 point. You don't love having the checker back there.
He
But
doesn't
you
have
also
his
don't
board
love
yet.
having. Yeah, he doesn't have his board yet, but he's gonna, you know, he's gonna make it at some point, right? And you don't want to stay back forever.
Yeah, she just took one of his rolls away.
If you come down with 2, to get off the heavy midpoint, then I think these are the last two, right?
I think it's between this or playing to your 6 point. Two completely different
right.
plans.
Right. I didn't really get a good look at coming to the 6 point, but this is 3-way, 6-away.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah. Makes sense to roll, I think. But if Neil pans again, okay, he comes in with the plays his 5 down. You know, even though he only has a 1 point board, if Kara can't get away, he can start to make a prime in front of her, right? 6-3, not a great shot. Has to play 8-5. And 13-7.
Has to play 13-7.
You have to play,
and then find a 3.
Well, you can play this. I mean, you have to play 8-5, and then I don't know what the. This is not totally adequate. 4-3 runs away. Yeah. Just hope to get missed. Gotta get that pepper out. Double 3 will hit. Make the 5 point. Yep. 2-6 is a great shot. What happens on a fan? Do you double?
Yeah.
Card does double. I would think you have to take if you kneel, right? I mean, first of all, she's an underdog to make the 3 point, and you're probably going to get a shot.
I mean, she made that decision very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think it merited. People should just slow down a little. 13 minutes on your clock.
Yeah.
Short.
I mean,
it was not clear at all.
If you make the 3 point, you have a strong position. You have a very strong position if you make the 3 point. But if you don't, there's going to be a shot, and a hit is going to result in a 4 cube for the most part, right? So I would think it's a take. I would think it's a take. I mean, I don't know. Even if
how long he's thought, it's definitely a good double.
Even if she makes the 3 point, you know, you're not closed out. You still have play left. Obviously, if she makes the 3 point, you're in bad shape. But you're not just like gammoned. And if she doesn't, I mean, you're almost certainly getting a shot, right? So there's 6-4 double 5s and any deuce. So it's 15 numbers that make it, 21 that don't.
Let's take a quick poll. Would you?
I would take.
You would take.
Yeah.
I would take.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I would
I don't think so.
XG.
But you gotta make sure you put it in right. You can't put it in with like the score reversed or something.
That's happened to you before?
Almost every time someone tells me.
It's hard to put them in right.
This is 6-1 for Kara? She has the whole roll to play? Or no? She has a 6 to play?
Oh, 8-5.
If she has a 6 to play, she should play 24-18.
Agreed.
Yeah. It was a borderline cube, super easy take. Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow, she didn't hit? Is that what happened? She made the 5 point instead of hitting? I don't know. I think I would have hit on the 16, 23-16 instead of making my 5 point, but 3 should hit again, right? I don't think you fighting for the 4-point as much as just trying to not get hit and not let Neil, you know. Neil's position is too strong to leave a bunch of shots, so you want to minimize shots. Double two. Wow, he just did that immediately. Why wouldn't you just make the 7-point? That looked super natural to just make the 7-point, and he just made the 21 and hit his clock, and I for sure would have made the 7. So,
Agreed.
Yeah. He would have actually had a double on Kara's 5-4 after making the 7, right? She couldn't move anything from the back. Now, I mean, I guess he could double, but it's much less scary. Can people still hear me?
Is there anybody out there?
They tell me they can't hear me even though the microphone is like 2 inches from my mouth.
Like the scene in Terry. Just trying to get you there.
It's not that loud, but it's not that quiet. I mean, come on.
I agree with that play. Good play.
5-4 makes the 9-point. Whisper, whisper. Can anybody hear me? Hello.
Why not do that?
Well, you want to make a... you want to cover the blot if you have nothing better to do, but making a 4' is much better than just covering a blot, right? Yeah, its safety is a blot that was in the outfield, and it makes a 4' in front of him. If you were just, like, debating, like, oh, should I don't know, do nothing or cover the blot, you should cover the blot, you know? But...
I'm asking questions for the...
Yeah.
Up in all of this.
5-1, so here she'll cover the blot because the 5 doesn't really do anything elsewhere. I mean, it would play 13-8, but 13-8 isn't an improvement like making a point is an improvement, right? So now 4-3 plays 2 down.
The 4.
Oh yeah, you can make the 4. I didn't even see that one. This looks weird. If you're not going to play 2 down off the midpoint or make your 4-point, I don't really see hitting loose on the deuce point being the play, right? Like, it seems like it just puts a checker out of play. She comes in, and now you have to both hit and contain and make the deuce point at the same time and then fill in the gaps, right? So now you hit, but you have a bunch of blots and return shots. 3-5 hits back. Kara's probably not gonna double anytime soon, even though she could potentially double a holding game. She's not really winning the race. She needs some, you know, more improvements in the race closer to home before she can ship a cube at the score.
Why not the 4-point?
I would think the 4-point. I don't... yeah, I mean... This is kind of okay in that your 6s come out and your 5s fill the gap. But I don't know that it's a big deal, really. 3-1. Probably, yeah, slot the 4 and go 9-8. Kara does not want to leave a shot regardless, so having the extra blots in your board is not really going to hurt you that much. I mean, maybe if she rolls 5-4, she'll pay off to an indirect shot, you know, something like that. But for the most part, she's not going to, you know, break her midpoint to leave 2 blots in the outfield, I don't think.
So when do you think she should be doubling this?
Okay, so what's the race? She's up 16 plus 28, 26, 7, 20, 19. She's up
right?
20? I think she's up 20. So for money game, this would be like a double and a take, right? I think. You do have a big racing lead, but you have stripped 8 points, stripped 9 points, stripped midpoint, gaps on the 7. You know, you're probably gonna leave a shot on the midpoint. That'll be a 9, and then maybe you'll also leave a shot on the 9 or 8. I don't think.
I would wait till I cleared my mid.
Yeah, I mean so you can double kind of the for Neil, you pretty much want to pass around the same point you would pass for money, like a normal score. But the window is narrower, so she can't really double positions that are easy takes. She has to be like kind of close to a pass before she can double. 6-4? Like yeah, she should leave the indirect. I think it's only a 6-3 and double 3.
Going to have to leave the indirect anyway.
Yeah. I think it's time to. I think it's time to leave the indirect now. With 6-2, Neil's going to come out, and now he may have to leave a direct shot if things go poorly. I mean, so the deuce. I think that's the right deuce. Kind of makes sense to me.
The threes.
3-1 is gonna make the 3-point and play 6-5. 6-3 comes around. Okay, getting off the shots that clear the midpoint with tempo. And I think you have to roll if you're Kara and clear the midpoint before you can double. So here you can clear the 8-point actually. Is that a play? I mean, if you do this, you're paying off to a 9. If you get missed, I think you have a cash. Right? I think this is just a double and a pass now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Slowing down would be good there.
Yeah. Now this is. Oh, well, after double 6. Now she. I guess she should slow down here also? Okay. Double 5 is going to lose the market almost no matter what Neil rolls. He has to roll double 6, I think. Yeah, this is Jin if she doubles. Neil is far away from a take. He needs double 6 to be close. So.
She's got a hole.
Yeah.
And her 2 is sparse.
Yeah, I think some people get scared of like they see like a gap and they see a score and like I'm winning 9-5, but like they don't realize that like the race is just completely dead. And like, you know, what can you do when you're dead in a race? Like there's no more contact, the game is almost over. Right. So I think a lot of players just get scared of like a score or something, but you know, just being up a lot of pips is way more important than that.
There's some daylight there.
Yeah, I mean Neil could win. I'm not saying it's like Jin. It's only Jin if she doubles. Then I believe Neil will pass. Okay. 2-1, so Neil gets a free shot at maybe rolling something big. Still looks like a pass, but she lost 3 pips, so I imagine she's going to keep rolling.
Oh.
Yeah, now this is almost Jin, even if she doesn't double. He needs like multiple sets of 6s. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Crawford. I mean, in terms of equity, it probably didn't really cost her a ton because she was so close to a cash anyway, but it just kind of gives him free shakes to roll a big number. Alright, so 5-2 will split. Good. Gammon works for Neil, right? Yeah.
Double hit.
Yeah.
Gammon.
Gammon.
Yeah, because he can use gammon.
Gammon does work, so. 5-4 can. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. 6-2 is gonna make the anchor and come down. You don't want to hit when you're outboarded and hoping to save a gammon. 3-2, 13-8. Double deuces is a super roll, makes the 5 and 4 points. And Neil needs a tremendous roll back. That is not gonna be it. What can you do? I guess you have to play 13-9. Because if you go 6-2, you're just totally dead. Double 6 is like almost lights out. You make the 7 and come out.
Yeah.
I don't see how this is, yeah, gonna go poorly for you. I mean, there are some ways. Ace deuce. Ooh, which anchor do you make? Do you make the 3-point or the 2-point?
The 3.
Is it crazy to make the 2?
His 6. I mean, the 6 is coming in direct contact with it.
Yeah. So if you can make the 3-point, you
so
have.
It gets tricky for him to clear his point.
What? I'm not sure I followed you.
Well, like Neil's 6-4, 6-5 are direct shots from the 3. So it's not so easy to break that to clear that outside point. You're gonna need doubles to do it.
Clearly, you mean Kara clearing the 15-point?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm misgendering, but
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, if you make the 3-point, you're letting her play behind you, and you're, you know, if you rolled.
you also have timing issues. Trying to
Do you? Do you have
so.
timing issues?
I think so, a little bit.
If you have timing issues, you want to come up, but it's not so clear to me that you have timing issues. Maybe you do.
No, she's one with a double.
Yeah, I
correct?
see. You're saying if she rolls 6-5, 6-4, whatever, she can clear the 15-point.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Two 1 should be 7-4. Yep. Six 2. I assume you just go 15-7. Now that the blots are there, right? You're gonna have to clear something sooner or later. And if you clear the 8-point now, it looks like it's gonna get worse and worse. And I mean, you could roll a set, but I don't know. Maybe at this score you just wait.
He's got some good firepower. Come back in.
It's not crazy to wait.
She's gonna play conservative.
Just Neil's gonna be a lot stronger if you wait.
Yeah.
Go now while there's a blot.
Yeah. Go while you have a 5', right? Because if you break the 5'. Okay, 6-1 will make the 3-point, and if Kara can clear the blot, she'll just be cruising home. 4, 7-6 is probably the best ace. You like having a spare on your 6-point. 6-2. Oh my gosh, he hits. She fans. It's gonna be anybody's game. Yeah, new favorite in this game. Okay. 2-1 is probably a 7-6 and 14-12. I don't think you really need to make the 7-point. You just don't want to leave the fly shots and come around to get some coverage on rolls like 2-5 and 4-5. 4-1.
Should she be hitting loose if she comes in?
For the most part, not, right? Maybe, but.
So 4 1s, 2 1s.
4-1 and 2-1, yes. What if you were like at 2-3? Do you make the deuce point or hit?
I don't know. That's why I asked you. I think I hit, but I don't know.
Yeah. 2-3. There it is.
Oh, we'll find out.
I mean, my first instinct was to hit also. Making the deuce point is definitely possible, but I mean, hitting is, yeah. Double 3 makes the 2 point. So there are some gammons in the air, but not that many. 3, 2 probably goes 11 to 8. I guess you come 13 to 8 all the way. Right, your 6 comes out. You want to have 5s, 4s, and 2s to. Oh, he's doing this. But 4, 5, double 4 are good anyway. Okay, 6-2. Yeah, is this a clear play? I guess so. I guess you want to jump. Yeah, you gotta jump. And then just give double 4. You're winning the race. And, you know, you're not, I don't think you're getting that many gammons by making a closeout. If you, I mean, I like this move, you know. You're only giving a double 4. If she comes in, you're probably going to win the race anyway. So 4-3, yeah, comes in and out. Play. Yeah. But like I say, Neil's probably going to win the race even if he doesn't hit. And he does manage to hit. It's not totally, I mean, yeah, you got hit, right? You can go 7 to 1.
Or the ace.
Yeah, just leave a double 4. Two 1 is 8 to 5. No shots. No shots. Never leave a shot. 4 or 5 comes in, slots the 3. Six 3 cleans up that. Is she thinking about running? I mean, she could run. I would probably stay back. I don't think it was a huge deal, but would have probably made sense to stay back.
Yeah, it's Crawford.
I don't think she was really. Yeah. Okay. Everybody off. It's gonna be 10-6 post Crawford. If it wasn't the Crawford game, Neil missed a lot of cubes. No, it was the Crawford game.
He has it. Yeah. 6-10. Post Crawford.
6-10 post Crawford. Can we like fast forward? Is that an option? Can we like fast forward? Is that an option?
To what?
The next game or whatever.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When post Crawford, usually the underdog is going to want to double immediately. Are there any circumstances in which you don't immediately?
Yeah, this one you could not.
And explain for our audience.
We'll see what he does. I think. Yeah. I don't know what he's gonna do. Let's see what he does.
When do you not do that?
You don't want to lose your market. So it would be bad. You generally don't want to roll if you have a sequence where you can double and it's going to be a pass afterwards. because probably you're gonna have to double later anyway. He should come in on the 5. No, I don't think he. Yeah, improves your PR. Let's say the score is 10-10 post Crawford, and you double in the opponent. let's just say you could have the Cuban play. Yeah, if you double any position,
Right.
the opponent should take.
I mean, in this situation, though.
Right. So if you're an odd number away, then
There you go,
the
see, just
opponent's
doubled.
take point is incredibly low. Right. If it was 10-10, it would actually be 0%. At 10-8, it's 0% plus the gammons. So, basically, you need to.
So he waited a couple rolls.
Yeah, he waited a couple rolls, then he doubled. She
Outboarded
took.
her and-
Yeah. So 2-1 for Neil is going to be to the 11? Really? I guess so. I don't know. You didn't even really spend too long on it, but 6-3 is running out to the 15, right? Oh, you can make the 2 point. Oh, you can make the 2 point. Yeah.
In her situation, would you want to run? And she's got the card. She's got the.
Yeah, I mean, running is definitely better positionally if you get missed for sure. It's kind of dangerous in that you leave a double shot.
Yeah.
But this is way better when you get missed.
Yep.
It is 6-2 as well as the 20 shots, right? So 22 numbers hit.
Yep. She ran.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary, but
Seems to have worked out.
yeah, well.
For Neil.
Yeah. Neil hits and that's fine 4. That was a 3 up was very scary. Ace coming in is a nice nice bonus. 5-1 makes his 5 point. Six 4 for Kara. Yeah, makes the 2 point. Okay. Hi. 5-2 is just 11 6 9 7, right? Yeah. You get some builders. If you roll a 3-2, you make a 6 prime. If you roll a 6-5, you make the ace point. 6-5 is a terrible shot, but I should just play safe. This is definitely the play. 3-1. Looks like 24-21 and 6-5. Yeah, you don't want to really go past your 4 point. And you do put a little bit of, you do cover a little bit of ground on the 24 point, but 24-21 is kind of asking to be played. Yeah. Yep. Lack of alternatives. 5-2 fans. Okay, if she makes the 4 point, she has like a real game, but that's not a good roll at all. She has to like play 4-2. 6-2. I mean, what else can you do other than stacking your 2 point? Like, are you really going to play with a bunch of blots when you don't want to get gammoned? I mean, you could play 2 down. Maybe you would do that at double match point. But I think you just play 8-2 and 4-2 and hope to save a gammon or run the back checker and get missed or something, you know? It looks terrible, but it's better than
She's thinking it over.
Getting hit.
We're at 13-6.
Yeah. certainly at a
And
different
the
score.
game plan is that you're going to try to win ugly.
Yeah, you're gonna try to first save a gammon, second win ugly. Certainly at a different score, I would
I mean, as
make
ugly
a
as
different
it is,
play.
it can
Yeah.
be won.
Yeah. Sure, you can easily win from there. Yeah, she doesn't. She hates the way it looks, and I don't blame her. But you know, I would do it and just try to say I'm not gonna get gammon this game. Whereas this one makes sense to win the game, but like. You're taking an awful lot of risk. This would be the double match point play.
What do you think, Alex? What you should do?
Always play safe. Never leave a shot. No, there's a full roll to play, 6-2. Just never leave a shot. Okay, she's doing it. She's going for it. Yeah. Either this or 8-6. 4-3 hits both.
Oh.
Okay.
That'll hit.
Yeah, she's got 2 on the bar. 6 hits. Now she's got 3 on the bar. 3 comes down. 3-2. Looks like she has 3 on the bar. 3 on the bar right now. Ace hits. Okay. She's still got 2 on the bar. 3-1. Comes in on the 3 points. Maybe you're coming on the 4 point. Yeah. I think you're coming on. You keep moving that same checker. But it's not a huge deal what you do. You could go 10-9. Or 7-6. You could play 7-6 to get a builder for the ace point. Yeah, I think 7-6 actually is the best play. Yeah, I like 7-6, but 4-1 makes the 4 point. And now she, yeah, even if she rolls an ace, she's in danger of getting gammoned. Double deuces. I think that's yeah, switch. Pick up the. I think it is pick up the 4th checker. Yeah, he could win a backgammon. Yeah. Yeah, you're thinking backgammon. Double deuces closes the board, and this really has a shot at being a backgammon.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Should put a checker on a 6 point and play 18-13, I think. Double 4 is gonna play. Yeah, okay, 6 and 5. 6 off, 6-4. This is a pretty good setup for Neil, relatively speaking. I mean, he's happy to. Oh, double 6. Wow. That'll save backgammon for sure. And possibly could save a gammon, but she's going to need at least 1 more big set. Probably maybe 2 more big sets. Should play 8-6 with the deuce.
Losing a match to a backgammon is as brutal as it gets.
Yeah. But if you safety all your blots, at least you don't get backgammon. So this looks like a gammon, and it's going to be 10-10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep us
And
in
now
suspense.
the break. Let's fast forward again. Let me see if I can see the chat.
Were you trying to read her text? Oh, I thought you meant read her text message.
Pretty quiet.
What would your market be? How many games of backgammon has Neil played in his life?
I'll get it for you.
No, it's okay. We can manage.
Yeah. That's how he stays so calm. It's in the hundreds of thousands. Oh, well, a lot.
Multiply that by 50, so you'll have approximate answer.
Did you see this doubling cube?
No.
Let's say, on average, in an 11-point match, you play 11 games.
Oh, yes, look around at the games he has.
Matches.
Right.
So if you play 10 games a year,
Huh?
if you play 10 games a day for 50 years, you're over 150,000, right?
I'll take your word for it. I didn't do that.
What's the average number of
right.
what's the average number of matches that all of you play per day? What's your average? Do you play every day?
I definitely don't play every day.
Okay, but
I
per week then.
sometimes I don't play any for several years, and then
For several years. Okay, you're out of
but
this.
I spent my 20s playing 8 hours a day,
Okay.
so I probably 80.
Burned out.
Yeah, I probably played 100 games a day for a decade when I was younger.
So then you got burned out and you quit for a while, or
Well, I got a life.
yeah, good for you.
You probably play about 100 games a day.
Something like that. Yes, when in my 20s, when I was grinding out a living playing backgammon. Yeah, something like that.
So let's say you play 10 games an hour. You play 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
You only play 10 hours a day, yeah.
Alright, looks like players are back. And it's gonna be double match point.
This is it. Last game.
Yeah, last game. And we got the big cube out, but they're not gonna get to use it this game. Okay, 5-2 splits. Double 4 is a good roll for Neil. He's gonna make the 5-point and the 9-point. And 5-3 will make her 3-point. Behind him, Neil's a reasonable favorite right now. 4-2 making the 4-point, improves his position even a little bit more. 4-2 is a great shot, equalizing the game. And 6-2 for Neil. I guess you have to play 13-7, 6-4, right? What else? What else can you do? Nothing. So that's it.
Is that a nice shot of his hairline?
I mean, you could make the 7-point, but I think the 9-point is probably stronger than the 7-point. Yeah, 6-2. I think the 9-point is a better blocking point than the 7-point, and you can also make the 7-point at some point. This looks like the right play to me. 4-1 plays 13-8. And 6-4 brings 2 down. Just like that. So Neil has advantage in the race. 2-1 makes it even, yeah, I think you play 13-12. Yeah, come down.
Has a 4-point in front of her.
Leave a 7 shot. And Neil should slot his 3-point, play from the back. Okay. 4-3. Yeah, the 9 isn't. I mean, the problem is you're giving up the midpoint, and I don't know. The
You don't
midpoint's a
really
nice
have a
point.
three to play.
Yeah, you don't have a good alternative is part of the problem.
Yep.
I mean, giving up the midpoint is not really what you want to do, but there's not a whole lot of options. You can bring 2 out with 6-5. Is that crazy? This is probably the play. 4-2. What about just playing 4 down?
Yeah, so 4
not
down,
leaving a shot.
and then 6-4.
Yeah, and 6-4. I mean, I know it's a little bit worse. This is better distribution, but then you have to play a 2, and you don't really want to leave a shot. You don't want to get hit.
Okay, she's behind. She's gotta watch it.
Yeah, 13-9,
6-4.
13-9, 6-4. Just yeah. I mean, this just seems like you're giving him a bonus 8 for almost no reason. Yeah. This looks like the right play. This is legal. Yeah, good play.
Totally reasonable.
Yeah. Okay, 6-1. 7-1 and 4-3. 5-1 is to the deuce point. What? That was illegal. Yeah.
Oh,
She has an ace to play. Yeah. Okay. She plays 3-2.
He caught it.
Yeah. Yeah. 4-3 is gonna clear the bar point. You could play.
It wasn't forced.
Yeah, it wasn't forced. You could take a second to look at 6-2, 4-1, but
There she goes.
yeah, that's a pretty good roll. What was the race before this? You're down. Okay, she's gonna count it this way. I would have just. Okay. You're down 8.
8 on crossovers.
4
Yeah,
pips
4.
after the roll? Okay, so I guess then you don't do this, yeah? You come out, you play 9-3 and 8-2. Yeah, yeah, that's what you do. If you're only up 4 after the roll, you gotta control the outfield. So you make the board, you keep the outfield. I don't think so. I mean, yeah.
Uh-oh.
To be honest, this worked out better for her because the other play would have wasted more pips. 5-1 brings 2 in. This is fairly tight, right? Kara's an underdog, but if she rolls just a big roll or 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she's down by.
Clearly better than 2 in.
Yeah, I think so. I think you want to at least fill the gap on the 5 point, but I don't know. It's not clearly better. You know, nothing's. Hardly matters what you do in a race, to be honest, but it's just about the number of pips you roll. 6-5, yeah. Neil is rolling bigger pips than she is, although that helps catch up. It looks close again. It does look close, but yeah. Double 4 will make it less close. It's not so close anymore. Three, 1. She's gonna need a minimum of double 4 and probably a double 6. She needs absolute minimum of double 4, I believe. As long as there's not. Yep, that's Jen. So, all right. Yeah, tough loss for Kara.
it's a good competitive one.
Neil wins 11-10.
Yeah. All right.
Have a good evening.
Good night and good luck to all our viewers out there.
All three of them?
All your fans. To all your fans. Kelly, any words?
Anybody out there?
Oh, I know. I wanted to go. Yeah, but we had plans already. We did the champagne tasting.
Thank you for joining us at the 2025 Los Angeles Open. I hope you're enjoying the action. My name is Alex Eshaghian. I'm running the stream and the commentary. You can join me on my YouTube channel. Just look up Alex Backgammon, or there'll be a link at the bottom. We're playing on a beautiful Legacy Boards Backgammon board exclusively on the stream, and during the breaks, we're going to be showing off some more of the Legacy boards, and I have the owner of Legacy Boards Backgammon, Bill Shea, joining me. Welcome, Bill.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks for having us, and we're thrilled to be sponsoring the LA Open this year. We're delighted to have been invited.
My pleasure. How are you doing today?
Doing great. We're full on spring, it looks like.
Yeah. So for the viewers, these are some of the most beautiful high-end luxury boards, and we're going to talk through them, but I wanted to show some pictures of some of your boards. A lot of them are on the website, but we'll start by showing the viewers some of those, and maybe you can go through and give us about like a one-sentence overview of each one.
Absolutely delighted to. Yeah, this is All Hands. It's a beautiful poplar piece with really striking playing field, blue and white, and then dark blue. It stands out. It's absolutely beautiful. Great little piece. Blush was my wife actually made blush. It's got a little bit of crocodile in there, and again, playing pieces and dice and doublers that beautifully accent the leather and the playing field.
Canyon.
Canyon is a sycamore. It's a pretty unusual piece of wood, but just amazing. The wood's the star of that show. Citron is another heartfelt piece. Just really beautiful colors. It'll stand out in any room. It's a great little piece to play. Clean Slate's another one. Very sort of regal colors, burgundy set against that gray. Really nice little piece to play.
This looks almost similar to the board on the stream.
Very similar. Not quite as dark a playing field as Clean Slate. Will be a little bit lighter, but very similar. And yeah, we'll have photos. Well, you'll be able to see it during the streaming. Yes.
And Crush.
Crush is a favorite. That's a table, and just it's obviously Orange Crush for those of us that remember the beverage. The colors just told us that's what we needed to name it. A really neat piece with great natural accents to the wood. One of my favorites. We actually made that for a New York interior designer, and just a really dramatic piece of wood set on a beautiful table base. Really fun piece. We still have that piece. It's still available on the website. Envy, it does just that. It just you're going to be the envy of the tournament playing in that one. Really neat little piece. Again, we throw some croc in there that just accents really nicely. And Frank is another favorite, where when we bought this piece of wood, we didn't quite know how we'd do it, but we literally had to stitch it together due to the natural checks, they're called, but the cracks in the wood. But what it results in is just a striking, also a table, coffee table, really striking accent to any room, and neat little piece to play.
Yeah, we were talking about that on social media. It looks like almost the shape of a football or something like that. And It's I guess it's not an ideal for one person to sit in one direction and the other to sit, but this is more of a piece of art for me.
Well, I'll take that and run it. You know, when you sit at a table like that, you actually sit above the table, so that I'm losing the word, but the irregular shape of it really doesn't affect you that much when you're
Really?
playing it. No, it really doesn't. We've played it, and but what it does, to your point about, we hope somebody does see it as a piece of art, but maybe a good way to sort of introduce the stuff we do. But we really try to maintain. That's from the crotch of a tree, which you can see on the right side. That's a big growth coming off the tree, a trunk coming off the tree, and what it does to the wood is really tough to match. It just gives incredible accents and colors and just an explosion of colors. And then we were able to tie in the bow ties, which just offset everything and really, again, accentuate the natural aspects of the wood. But again, a striking playing surface, very visible, very easy to play, and really fun little piece.
Are the bow ties decorative or do they keep the wood together?
They do a little bit of both. You can play with them from a decorative perspective, which I love to do. It's a little complex to do them, and you risk the wood doing them, but they do stabilize the wood a little bit. When we buy our wood, the wood's gone through a lot, and it's all designed to remove some of the natural flaws, some of the natural elements that a tree goes through before it's cut down. It dries it and stabilizes it, but it also, as it dries it, it produces the cracks a lot of times because the moisture comes out, the wood cracks. So we use the bow ties to stabilize it a little bit more and make sure that in a piece like this, it's not going to come apart, or continue to dry and get worse in those cracks. We try to leave it for its natural beauty, but up close and personal, it's a really fun thing to be able to add those artistic elements and stabilize the wood at the same time. So it's a little indulgent.
Very good, very good. Go on to the next one.
Gramercy was a piece that we did to sort of show off, and it needed what are called splines. Those are, again, to stabilize the wood on the left side. Those are two very small checks, but maybe a better example of, let me be a little artistic in how I stabilize the wood. And there's actually more of those on the underside. So a lot goes into that, and probably, you probably got 15 to 20 hours worth of work in stabilizing the wood before we even start making the playing surface. So a lot goes into that, but the result is a really neat, striking, added accent to a backgammon board.
Next one.
That is Hang 12. It's got a shape it's a cherry slab, and most often the wood and the wood's accents, we don't start on the leather until we've finished the wood for obvious reasons maybe, but we obviously don't want to get any of the finishing materials on the leather. So by the time we put the leather in, the wood's told us what kind of leather we should use, what colors. And this certainly did that. But when we were finishing the wood, it took on the shape of almost a surfboard, which LA folks know those well. But sitting on, it's a table. It's got really neat, very contemporary legs, but it's got rounded edges on both ends, hence the Hang 12 name. Most of us remember Hang 10, but a play on words.
Yeah. High roller.
High roller is it's a bar height table, and in this one we were able to bring in some really neat leather. You can see there it's almost, folks familiar with cowboy boots know it as verdigris, but it's that stitching on a cowboy boot, and the leather has that accent in it, and it really gives it a very sort of masculine, cool feel to it, and the leathers, the gray and the tan leathers, just fold in beautifully to the wood and to that verdigris playing field. And then we can have a lot of fun with the checkers, as you see we did there.
Right.
Lucky Strike's a brand new one. My wife made that. My wife makes boards right alongside with me.
Thank you for joining us at the 2025 Los Angeles Open. I hope you're enjoying the action. My name is Alex Eshaghian. I'm running the stream and the commentary. You can join me on my YouTube channel. Just look up Alex Backgammon, or there'll be a link at the bottom. We're playing on a beautiful Legacy Boards Backgammon board exclusively on the stream, and during the breaks, we're going to be showing off some more of the Legacy boards, and I have the owner of Legacy Boards Backgammon, Bill Shea, joining me. Welcome, Bill.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks for having us, and we're thrilled to be sponsoring the LA Open this year. We're delighted to have been invited.
My pleasure. How are you doing today?
Doing great. We're full on spring, it looks like.
Yeah. So for the viewers, these are some of the most beautiful high-end luxury boards, and we're going to talk through them, but I wanted to show some pictures of some of your boards. A lot of them are on the website, but we'll start by showing the viewers some of those, and maybe you can go through and give us about like a one-sentence overview of each one.
Absolutely delighted to. Yeah, this is All Hands. It's a beautiful poplar piece with really striking playing field, blue and white, and then dark blue. It stands out. It's absolutely beautiful. Great little piece. Blush was my wife actually made Blush. It's got a little bit of crocodile in there, and again, playing pieces and dice and doublers that beautifully accent the leather and the playing field.
Canyon
is a sycamore. It's a pretty unusual piece of wood, but just amazing. The wood's the star of that show. Citron is another heartfelt piece. Just really beautiful colors. It'll stand out in any room. It's a great little piece to play. Clean Slate's another one. Very sort of regal colors, burgundy set against that gray. Really nice little piece to play.
This looks almost similar to the board on the stream.
Very similar. Not quite as dark a playing field as Clean Slate. Will be a little bit lighter, but very similar. And yeah, we'll have photos. Well, you'll be able to see it during the streaming. Yes.
And Crush
is a favorite. That's a table, and just it's obviously Orange Crush for those of us that remember the beverage. The colors just told us that's what we needed to name it. A really neat piece with great natural accents to the wood. One of my favorites. We actually made that for a New York interior designer, and just a really dramatic piece of wood set on a beautiful table base. Really fun piece. We still have that piece. It's still available on the website. Envy, it does just that. It just you're going to be the envy of the tournament playing in that one. Really neat little piece. Again, we throw some croc in there that just accents really nicely. And Frank is another favorite, where when we bought this piece of wood, we didn't quite know how we'd do it, but we literally had to stitch it together due to the natural checks, they're called, but the cracks in the wood. But what would result in is just a striking, also a table, coffee table, really striking accent to any room, and neat little piece to play.
Yeah, we were talking about that on social media. It looks like almost the shape of a football or something like that. And it's, I guess it's not an ideal for one person to sit in one direction and the other to sit, but this is more of a piece of art for me.
Well, I'll take that and run it. You know, when you sit at a table like that, you actually sit above the table, so that I'm losing the word, but the irregular shape of it really doesn't affect you that much when you're playing it. No, it really doesn't. We've played it, and but what it does, to your point about, we hope somebody does see it as a piece of art, but maybe good way to sort of introduce the stuff we do, but we really try to maintain. That's from the crotch of a tree, which you can see on the right side. That's a big growth coming off the tree, a trunk coming off the tree, and what it does to the wood is really tough to match. It just gives incredible accents and colors and just an explosion of colors. And then we were able to tie in the bow ties, which just offset everything and really, again, accentuate the natural aspects of the wood. But again, a striking playing surface, very visible, very easy to play, and really fun little piece.
Are the bow ties decorative, or do they keep the wood together?
They do a little bit of both. You can play with them from a decorative perspective, which I love to do. It's a little complex to do them, and you risk the wood doing them, but they do stabilize the wood a little bit. When we buy our wood, the wood's gone through a lot, and it's all designed to remove some of the natural flaws, some of the natural elements that a tree goes through before it's cut down. It dries it and stabilizes it, but it also, as it dries it produces the cracks a lot of times because the moisture comes out, the wood cracks. So we use the bow ties to stabilize it a little bit more and make sure that in a piece like this, it's not going to come apart, or continue to dry and get worse in those cracks. We try to leave it for its natural beauty, but up close and personal, it's a really fun thing to be able to add those artistic elements and stabilize the wood at the same time. So it's a little indulgent.
Very good, very good. We'll go on to the next one.
Gramercy was a piece that we did to sort of show off, and it needed what are called splines. Those are, again, to stabilize the wood on the left side. Those are two very small checks, but maybe a better example of, let me be a little artistic in how I stabilize the wood. And there's actually more of those on the underside. So a lot goes into that, and probably, you probably got 15 to 20 hours worth of work in stabilizing the wood before we even start making the playing surface. So a lot goes into that, but the result is a really neat, striking, added accent to a backgammon board.
Next one.
That is Hang 12A. It's got a shape it's a cherry slab, and most often the wood and the wood's accents, we don't start on the leather until we've finished the wood for obvious reasons maybe, but we obviously don't want to get any of the finishing materials on the leather. So by the time we put the leather in, the wood's told us what kind of leather we should use, what colors. And this certainly did that. But when we were finishing the wood, it took on the shape of almost a surfboard, which LA folks know those well. But sitting on, it's a table. It's got really neat, very contemporary legs, but it's got rounded edges on both ends, hence the Hang 12 name. Most of us remember Hang 10, but a play on words.
Yeah. High roller.
High roller is it's a bar height table, and in this one we were able to bring in some really neat leather. You can see there it's almost, folks familiar with cowboy boots know it as verdigris, but it's that stitching on a cowboy boot, and the leather has that accent in it, and it really gives it a very sort of masculine, cool feel to it, and the leathers, the gray and the tan leathers, just fold in beautifully to the wood and to that verdigris playing field. And then we can have a lot of fun with the checkers, as you see we did there.
Right.
Lucky Strike's a brand new one. My wife made that. My wife makes boards right alongside with me. Retired nurse, so to speak. She's too young to retire, but she's doing this. But her color sense is remarkable, and it's a beautiful little piece. It's a black walnut, but the playing surface is just explosive. It's so pretty, and then the checkers really accentuate it nicely. Mistress is another favorite. It's you talk about colors integrating to the wood. This one, again, we finished the wood in advance of using the leather, so we really were able to maximize the look and the coordination of the leather integrating to the wood just magnificently. Carrie, my wife, made that one as well. Really pretty piece. Also a table.
Now this one is probably my favorite one out of the slides in this deck because of what's called the live edge wood, the Nautica. Tell us about that, please.
Nautica, that is it's a maple slab, and when we got that piece of wood, it had so many unique attributes to it. What you see towards the left there are actually, those are bug holes. Bugs live in trees, and that's one of the things that we get rid of through the drying process before we acquire the wood. But also rot and sort of degradation as a tree ages. But when we get it, it's very stable, it's very stabilized, but we then have the opportunity to really maximize it. And as you can see, that here is so dramatic. And the table base we put it on it's a very stout, really impressive table base, but it just reeks of that.
Your house, your rules, man. I'm good either which way. Let's not. Let's do it old school. Okay. Okay, we'll sit down. Come over here. I'm gonna sit here, but you try this. Yeah. All right. Yeah, just. My last opponent liked the double chest. I'm out on double chest. Okay. And you see, I don't want to sit that low. Yeah, totally fair. Probably want my back to us. You're a cooler guy than I am. I don't know. I got sciatic. Yeah. I got my own. Yeah. All right. Golden. Yeah. That one. Nine. That's what it says. 7. Oh, 7. Yeah, we'll get down to the. Down to the trash. It's on 7. When we get into the fighters round. Oh, okay. And you're from where? London. London. I live in New York. I live in New York. Yeah. What about you? I live around the corner. Runaway too? I'll just be honest. Okay. It takes me about 10 minutes. Oh wow, you really do good down the corner. Everybody else is saying yeah. We'll work. Third time's the charm? Here we go. There we go. Alright. So great to see you. From here? Yeah. South Vegas. That's all I know there. What? This is the best weather in the world right around here.
You know, it is nice, but I hate seasons. I like the change. I like a different wardrobe, you know? The wardrobe is a joke, so I agree with you on that. With all, exactly. Can. It's a very healthy life out there. I like it really, but it's a what? Can't say I know what drama is. Okay. You do need a bigger context, but it like figure it out. It works. Yeah, it works. I didn't even notice. Oh, okay. But you know, it's leather, so you have to Yeah. So why don't you gotta paint it in? Not as easy as I'm sure not. This sounds like you just planted on those. Yeah.
Alex, yeah, he said he had to run to his room.
Yeah, I joined all
sure.
the clubs.
The only other thing is, if you want to take a break, just put this on the board in this orientation, please.
In this orientation.
Yeah, this way.
So I can read it.
But prior to that, just the buddies, I owned bars and restaurants, and everybody knew, all my friends knew that all of my bars would always have a backgammon. Yeah. Not my place. People always knew they'd come hanging out. Yeah.
All right, everyone. We're going to have one more match tonight. Open undefeated round of 32 at Rosenblum from New Mexico. He was the author of Conquering Backgammon against Art Benjamin, a math magician and Grandmaster from California. So this will be the round of 32. They will be starting shortly. I'm going to get some commentators. I'm actually going to leave for the night. It's getting past my bedtime, and if I don't go home, I'll turn into a pumpkin. So they will be here, and they will end the stream later, and I will see everyone tomorrow.
I mean, some of them were like high-end cocktail bars for sure. Yeah, like we're getting some awards and stuff. Some of them were nightclubs, some of them were restaurants, all sorts of stuff. I don't do that anymore.
Hey, you need to pick up? No, that's fine. Matt's gonna take care of it. Matt Patterson.
You know what else?
Thank you very much. I'm leaving soon too.
Nice, congratulations.
Long days, huh?
You drive home?
Yeah. Where do you live?
Drinking, all the late nights working.
How long does that take?
An hour.
An hour? Is there traffic? Tomorrow there won't be.
Yeah, I'm not coming tomorrow.
Yeah, coming tomorrow. On the weekend.
This is good.
Is it? You're not coming Sunday either?
No, I'm just waiting for Sunday.
All right, so I'll see. I took care of that with Carol.
Oh yeah,
So you don't have to wait.
remind me.
No, she took.
Yeah.
She paid me. I paid her.
Right, and I need to pay you in cash.
No, because she paid me.
Okay.
I thought
So,
it was going
oh,
through
yeah.
you, so I owe you $45.
Neighborhood.
Yeah. And you don't want an electronic anymore. Okay.
Alright, see you.
Take care. See you in a couple weeks or so.
How many minutes for 9 points? 18 minutes?
Yeah, 18
Can you
minutes.
set this up for 18? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know how to change it.
That's not gonna work. I was like, what is happening here? Yeah, of course. Like, I know it's a nice board, but maybe I'm missing.
Colors do blend
Yeah,
together.
the contrast is really screwing it down. Sold them last year. I'll be right back. What am I doing? No. What am I doing? That's what it was?
It's because we slept together and roommates together, and that's true for Roberto. Are these all your little things?
Ended up the same way?
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
So where was your room? He's a neighborhood guy. Sounds like it. I love that. I love to hear that. No, thank you. Yeah. I was gonna say, I know where this is going. Oh, yes, you're right.
He's the one he beat because.
Still do. Yeah, I don't use the text thing here. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, playing. Come on, man. No, you didn't.
I'm just going to check to make sure the cameras are aligned. Can you please just sit there for a moment? Sure. Thank you.
No.
I don't know, the player bearing off on the right. It's me.
And then you're going to sit over here. So basically, one person rolls.
Right.
If this person rolls, put it over here. If this person rolls, put it on this side so we know.
Okay.
Just, or put it on the here. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And if you're going to take a break, just please put this in this orientation. Waters are for you. And you're going to be seated here.
Why?
Because I have a computer set up there.
Can you flip it?
You prefer this side?
Yeah, I prefer this side.
Okay.
I like to be facing out. I don't like everyone behind me.
Yeah.
Is this my water?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You rolled
I saw Art. I told him we're over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know which way's up. And then I got caught up on other stuff. You think you might go start playing live again?
Is that okay? It's a nice board.
Yeah. This
Do
is
I win
like-
this board if I win the match?
Yeah. This is the same manufacturer as Tommy's board. Legacy boards.
I like the way you finished the surface on this one a lot more.
The surface?
Yeah, it looks different than Tommy's.
Yeah, his leather is slightly different. It's a little more.
Yeah.
He wanted to sit on that side.
No.
So,
I'm just claustrophobic.
just sit down.
Not really.
Please.
Just saying that. Do you still use the boards at all?
You know, I still have it in my office, and I have used it, but I haven't taken it out of my office.
Yeah, with XG and a projector, it's so good. It's hard to.
Yeah.
So, let me take a picture of you shaking hands.
Alright.
So, one is for you.
Maybe I don't want to show you.
Yeah, I know. I don't blame you. One moment, please. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
And this is a little too. I'm going to go down to one chair instead of two. Feels a little bit like a high chair with my legs hanging up in there.
Okay, so I'm reading the rule here. It says, it's a reference box. On the opening roll, the player bearing off on the right, which is me, rolls one die. Once it comes to a rest, the die is moved to the other side of the board, and the opponent rolls one die.
Yeah, because the dice are the same color.
I see.
It's time for the stream. We just want to make sure there's no confusion.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead, like one person roll.
Good match, man.
Again, I'm sure it will be.
All right, one person roll. Oops. Oops. Sorry.
6. And 4.
Okay, so now
And
you
we're
play
off.
6, 4. There you go. Okay, good match.
Thank you.
I'm going to be going home, but someone else will help finish up.
Okay.
Sounds great. So far, we're playing perfect.
Perfect. 0.
Perfect.
Now you're gonna get something. Okay. Star should blow, okay? Okay? You gonna hold me, you gonna hold it against me? Oh, no. Should have seen the last match. I was like, oh, the last game. I was like, holy shit. I had almost exactly that. Double 5, double 6, double 5, double 4. 8-6 as well. No, yeah, 8-6. Yeah.
right. Matt Cohn-Geier will be joining for commentary shortly.
Hi, y'all. Apparently, I'm the last man standing. So, just me here. We got Art Benjamin and Ed Rosenblum. Let's see if I can figure out what's going on. Ed's bearing off, and Art closes his board. 4-2 clears a 6-point. Good dog. Double 6 will just bring 2 guys out and go to 6-point and play for a shot. You're not really losing too many gammons. 3-1 makes the ace point. Gammon is possible.
And they're saying not to stack checkers, so
missed that
just for the stream.
Good to show for the stream. Thanks, Art. Art is accomplished mathematician as it were, and a good backgammon player as well. So hopefully we'll get a interesting match with a lot of decisions. Okay, gammon is possible. Would be pretty brutal. I didn't see the extra checker. Okay. Oh man. Don't do it. Oh no. That's gonna... No. He's got 5 left. Yeah. Okay. 5 left is gonna make it impossible. Alright, so 2-0 for Ed. Let's, yeah. I'm kind of just getting started on this one. I don't think I have any access to the chat whatsoever, but,
Knock the bar and it's just sort of,
it makes a great table.
Very tactile.
Yeah, I think I see one of these in my future.
Okay, I will roll first.
You roll first.
okay, so 6-3 for Art comes out and splits to the 10-point. 6-1 makes the par point on Art's head. And 4-2, you can come in and play to the 22. You can play to the 11. I think it's you could also play 23 and 20, but I think it's 13-11, even though you only have 4 checkers on the midpoint. 6-5 running is a good play. And now 6-2 makes the 4-point for Art. That's good. And double 2 is a tremendous roll, makes the 5 and the 4 points. And on a fan, it's okay. Ace comes in. 5 should come down. Don't want to expose another blot when you're outboarded. Keep the checker on the 11 for the coverage. 6-5 runs away. And let's see if I can get a count. But it looks like it's a pretty strong position for Ed. You're up by 20, down 7, up 13. 15. 13, you're up 12. Ed is up 12, so this looks like a strong double. There are some shots available, but like Art would have to first of all take the cube to get the shots. I mean, maybe he should, but like you give him a decision at least by doubling. You know, kind of the best Art can hope for is to make a 3-point game where he's down in the race, or to, you know, potentially hit a fly shot or roll a very good joker and make the 18. So I think that was a missed double there. You're up 12 pips, you know. 2-1, I would not expose 6-3, I don't think. Yeah, I would just go 13-10. You know, you want to unstack the midpoint. You're still ahead in the race. You don't really want to leave a blot. And you have substantial overage on a fan, given the cube is in the middle. You know, maybe if you had doubled, you would get kind of full value out of the fans, because you would certainly be losing the market by a lot. It's gotten quite a bit worse because now Art has picked up 3 pips in the race and made a 3-point board, but double threes is going to make the bar point with 3 of them, and then just play 13-10 with the last one. I don't think you really need to expose a blot. I mean, I would expose a blot to make the bar point, but, you know, I'd only leave a 6-1. And basically, even if Art rolls a 2 here, okay, so he does roll a 2, he's still in a losing holding game where he's just down quite a bit in the race, right? I think it's a lot of pips in the race. So Art does pass the cube, which makes sense.
Heard what you did to my friend Tommy there.
Poor Tommy. Rolling my head off. So you go first now?
It doesn't matter. I'll do it anyway. I got 2.
I love Tommy.
5-2 for Ed. I typically like to split, and more so at the score. 4-3 should play 13-9 and 6-3, hitting on the 3-point and bringing a builder down to cover. Again, Wood did an even score, and even more so at this score. I mean, you like to hit on your 3-point because any other 3 is leaving shots anyway. And then your best 4 is simply bringing a builder down to get a 6-away cover and start the 9-point. That could be, you could make the 9-point later if necessary. 5-2 comes in and hits back. And 5-1 will come in and hit back on Art's 5-point. Hoping that there's some sort of miss, or if hit, you can make an anchor before Ed develops his board. 3-2 should make the 20-point. Very good anchor to have. As Kit Woolsey says, assets are everything. 5-4 will make the 16-point, right? I don't see why not. Art will be playing some sort of a back game, so he should come in on the 3-point. This gives him a better forward structure, slotting his 5-point, but making the 3 would be a really nice point to make, you know, making Ed's the 22-point in Ed's home board. So I kind of like coming in on the 22 because now it's very hard to actually make a better anchor, right? You don't want to really play with the 5-1 game, and you're kind of a long way from going forward. He does make the 5-point and pick up 20 pips, so this is not, it's actually worked out pretty well. $5-2? It looks terrible. What can you do? You can go 7-2 and 4. That looks awful. If you go 13-8, you have like no deuce to play. 7-2 and 8-6. Man, I think I would actually go 6-4 with 7-2. As awful as that looks, because this looks even worse. 4-2. That would have actually come in and made the 4 point. I guess you come in on the 4, and yeah, you have to play 6-4 anyway. Even regardless of the fact that you didn't slot it. Just because, like, what else are you going to play? You can't play 8-6 again and put a 7th checker on your 6 point. You can't play 16-14 or 13-11 and expose a bunch of plots. And you really want to come in on a high point and not on a low point. And you also don't have a 4 to play if you come in on the low point. So come in on the high point and play 6-4, unstack your heavy point. This is kind of worse in that you start a worse point and you're starting your deuce point and you're staying further back in arts boards, so you're kind of more likely to get primed back on the 23 point. 4-6 comes in, and I think hitting is too much, so I think I like coming out from the 21 point, leaving a double shot. I mean, there is hitting, but if you hit, you have 2 men back. If you get hit back, you have 3 men back. And yeah, I think I like this play. If you get missed, you only have 1 man back. And you have the point in the outfield no matter what. Whereas if you break the point, then, things can go south in a hurry. So 3-2 should come in on the 3 and hit with the 2. You don't really want to come in on the 2 point because you're priming yourself again, and so this is better diversification of your back checkers, and hitting is also a very nice thing that you like to do because he may not hit back, although in this case he does. Comes in with a 4, hits with the 6. And 5-3 will come in and come out to the 18. Again, I think hitting on the 11 is too much. You're giving 6s, 4s, and 1s as returns, and you're going to have way too many checkers back there. And if you come out to the 18 and Art rolls a 6, it's not even clear that he's going to break his midpoint to hit. He'll probably play 20-14. Some of the other shots would leave a bunch of return shots, and you just play with 1 blot instead of 3 blots. Yeah, minimize blots. Good play. 4-2 should make the 4 point, I believe. If you make the 10 point, I don't think so. Do I? I mean, making the 4 point looks pretty natural. This tidies up, but were you really worried about getting hit when you have the stronger board? And it's such a natural use of those 2 checkers that, that's like the only place those checkers can go. 3-1 should make the 7 point for sure. You're almost certainly not getting hit with an ace anyway. And you don't even really have another play. 3-1 can pick and pass on the 5 point, 6-5-2. You want to make the deuce point, and you can do it while hitting, not leaving a blot in the process. Double 5s comes in and makes the 10 point. Then you have a last one. I guess you can... So the last one is going to be 21-16. So what if you play 21 to 16 twice? I don't think. Yeah, I think this is the play. Double deuces makes the 4-point hits on the 9-point. What a tremendous roll. Yeah, sometimes when you leave your opponent a joker, they roll them. But even so, Art is probably still a favorite in the game because of his strong prime on his side. Although it's kind of a toss-up, really. 4-2 brings 2 down. Double ones comes in, play 6 to 5 and 13 to 12 twice, making the 12-point, playing with no blots. 4-3 makes the 5-point. That's a very good roll for Ed. You know, you're building a prime in front of him, leaving a couple indirect shots, but nothing too severe. And double 3 will make the 4-point from the 10-point, building a 5 prime on Art's side of the board. 5-1. The 8-point is a little bit awkward with the deuce point and the 3-point open, but I don't think he really had a better alternative. 2-4 coming out, good roll. You know, not breaking any points on his side of the board. And ace-3 will hit and probably play 7 to 4, I think. You're leaving a 3-5, but the other play leaves 3-4, 1-6, 3-6, 6 numbers instead of 2. Double deuces, so shifting the ace is way too much with the 2 checkers back there. You have to just flood the outfield, you know, I guess just make the 12-point. You want to get some coverage for the bar and the 9-point if you should hop out with a 3-6 or a 1-6. And maybe you want to make the 8-point with a 4. Ed still needs to jump a checker before he can do anything. Oh, 5-3. Wow. Whoa. Did he look at making the ace point? I mean, it wasn't totally obvious to me what he should do there. Making the 3-point was certainly reasonable, but I would like to at least stop for a second to think about making the ace. 4-1 should probably go to the 7-point and leave the 1-6. 1-6 is going to be a pretty good roll for him anyway. And I mean, it's much better if he hits than not, but this is okay. It's just that now you'd really like to be able to make the bar point. 6-5, that would have been close to gin, but you have to come out with the 6. And then you have to play 16-11 so you don't get hit, and you clean up 2 blots. Coming out with the 6 is like totally forced. Like you can't just stay back and win go into a priming battle that you're losing. Oh no. Oh no. As they say, 6s don't grow on trees. And, you know, you don't want to stay behind a 5 prime when you don't have to. You know, on the off chance, you know, there was only a couple rolls that would actually make the 3-point on your head. So, yeah, I expect that one was a really bad decision. Art is looking, but I don't think so, even at the score. I mean, even if you make the 3-point, you may not win the game. Although, you're a pretty big favorite if you make the 3-point. But the problem is, you know, let's say you just hit loose, now he has any 3, and then he has a 5-point board on his side, so... This is a 3, it's the worst of the 3s, but it'll at least hit, and Ed is a favorite in the game. I mean, he's shooting... Oh! Art comes in and hits, so Art needs to spring a checker pretty quickly, but if he does... Okay, Ed hits back again. Nice. I was trying to play a checker while he's on the roof. If Ed can't spring with a 6, oh, he does. Okay. So now Ed's looking for gammon, most likely. This is far too good. Because he's a pretty big favorite to win a gammon. Ace in, 8-4, okay. Double 4 is a nice roll, you know, takes 3 off, doesn't leave a shot. 6-2 will come out with a 6 and play 5-3. No, 5-3 should be better. You want to start building your board? You're never going to get off this gammon by running. 3-1. This one I think you go 24-20 to get off the backgammon. Backgammon is definitely in the air. 6-5, you have to bring 2 checkers out, 6 out, and 5 out. Don't backgammon yourself. Oh, I guess he's thinking about playing 24-19, but I don't think so. I mean, if Ed rolls an ace, you have the coup classique position where you're a big favorite to save a gammon. And if he doesn't, rolls a double, you're getting backgammon no matter what. It's only bad when Ed doesn't roll an ace, and then you roll a number that's less than 6 pips. Or I guess maybe if Ed rolls like 2-1, and yeah, you roll a number that's less than 7 pips, but it's pretty unlikely. So I think it's probably a good idea to stay for some of the aces.
I had a once played, giving you a 6-1. You've slotted that so I can make 5. It turns out that would have been a great play because my 6-5 was not like that. Slot that or it wasn't necessary, but it would create the prime.
I don't think I saw a slotting play.
Okay. All right.
Start with a 6.
6-4, Ed's going to make his 2-point at this score, okay. And then Ed rolls double 5s, make the 3. Double 6 is a good response, makes the 18 and the 7-point, and Arch has a lot of gaps between the 8 and the 2-point, but, you know, the 2-point is still part of a blocking formation. Yeah, I guess you have to split with the after you roll double 5s. Not sure about exactly how I would have split. Seems a little bit strange to do this instead of... I don't know. Art's thinking, I don't necessarily blame him, but I don't think it's there yet with the... Yeah, 4-2 is a double hitter. No. Just double hit. No, I don't like it. You know, if you double hit, he rolls 5-2, then you double. You know, you have a much stronger game. You just want to, yeah, putting 2 checkers on the roof is a very good idea. Okay, 5-4 disengages. He's not gonna have a double for a while because he has all the gaps, 2 checkers behind the anchor. But you know, he's quite happy to be playing with 13 against 2. You know, he has full freedom. Certainly if Art doubled, Ed would have a very easy take. 5-3 is 13-8 and 14-11. Oh. 6-4 for Ed is just gonna slot the 2 points, and he couldn't make the 2 point. I think it's reasonable to make the 2 point because there could be, yeah, sliding the 4 point is okay, but you know, kind of gives impunity at least for this roll for Art should certainly make a point, and I would think the 5 point is probably better than the 4 point. It is a little bit worse distribution. Yeah, 4 point. You do have the 11 point builder actually. The 11 point bears on the open 5 point. This gives you more rolls next turn to make the 5 point, so this is fine. 6 to 5, good play. Makes a 5 point board, ready to make a 6 point board. Still don't think this is a double. Race looks totally fine for Ed. You got the open 5 point, few spares, and 2 checkers out of play on the deuce point. What is the race? You can make the 9 point. You can also play 13-11 and make the 5 point. Making the 9 points certainly seems reasonable. Yeah, just trying to blockade. But the 9 point is not as strong as it might usually be with 2 checkers behind the anchor on the 2 point, because you're gonna have to break something apart pretty quickly here out of other spares to play with. I mean, you do have the 2 spares on the 6, checker on the 13, but those can kind of vanish in a hurry. So red is down by 22 on the outside. No, red is ahead in the race, right? Those are up 2 over there. That's 0. Red is up by 6 pips, I believe. So this should be a super easy take, and he does take. Oh no, he passes. Oh man. He tricked me. He put the cube on his side. I thought he pressed the clock. Yeah, I hate that pass. Red was ahead in the race. He has contact. He has a closed board. He has an anchor. He's not really in danger of getting gammoned. I think it was like very clear take. And probably not a double. Three, 2, 3, 2. At this score, you should come down and split with the 2. Yeah. Good play. 6-3 make hits in the outfield. Yeah, 24 to 15. It's better than making the 5 point, even though it is the 5 point. You're making it with the wrong checkers, and you're hitting a checker in the outfield and escaping a checker at the same time, picking up a bunch of pips in the race. 4-6, it's back. And 4-2 comes in on the deuce and makes the 11 with the 4. Double aces will make the 5 point and the 22 point. Points are good things to make. And 4-3 is a hit, and I guess you could continue to the 6 point for lack of any other 4. Ace-6 comes in and out to the bar point, I think. Yeah. I like that idea. He doesn't really want to hit you with a 6 or a 4. The ace is not even a very good hit either. He wants to move his back checkers, and so you want to get checkers into the outfield to start building a prime and containing. I mean, you could hit on the 2 point, but you're taking a spare off your 8 point, and that you're putting a checker kind of deep on your deuce point, and you want to have a pure position and build a prime, right? So I don't love this idea because it just seems like it's so hard to put the position back together again. Right, so now he'll do this, but now his position's just basically weaker than if he hadn't hit on the deuce point. And Art's going to run away with 6-5, 24 to 13. He hasn't pressed his clock yet, but I can't imagine what other play. 5-1 can cover the deuce point, so at least he has a point in his board. Still has a couple of gaps to fill, but it's better than not having it. 5-3 comes down with the 5. You could go... No, you should come down with the 5. And then probably continue to the 8 point. Yeah. Good play. Leave no shots. Double 6. So what is this race if you just like try to disengage? Let's see and count. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, you're down 10, you're down 12, and you're up by 10. You're down 2 pips after the roll. I don't think I would totally disengage because you have the stronger board. You're down 2 pips, and Art is really inflexible. So I think I would keep the 3 point, but he does decide to run. I mean, you know, the race is close, but I think you had quite a bit to gain by staying for contact. (5-3), I imagine you keep the 11 point as a landing point for the 13 and a blocking point for the 16. You know, that point could come in useful somehow, and it's not too likely you're going to leave a shot there. So, what's the race now? Up 15, up 16, 16 minus 3, 13 minus 4. So 16 after the roll, is that right? I believe so. Three, 2 is gonna do this, and now it's 11 pips. Probably not quite enough. Although double 5 just loses the market no matter what. I guess Ed could roll double 6s. Yeah, this is market annihilated. This is, yep, 5-2. Okay, Art trails 5-2. It comes in on the ace, plays the 5 down. Still, Art needs at least 1 or 2 more improvements before he can really seriously think about a cube. Should play the deuce down and 6 down. Yeah, good play. For 1. I mean, you can make the 9 point, you can split, but then you don't have a great 4. I think making the 9 is the right idea. 6-2 is not a particularly good roll. 13-5 is probably the best you can do with it. 6-5 makes the 3 point. I think you still got to roll if you're Art, although I would kind of like to see him slow down at least a little bit. This just makes the 21, the 8, and the 10 point. I mean, you have a massive double on anything except for double 3 and double 2. Maybe double 1? No. Make the 8 to safety the blots. Make the 10 to not expose any new blots. Yep. Wait, he has... Oh, sorry. I was thinking he could play 5 of them. Seemed odd, though, to not make the 8. So maybe I don't know, maybe I missed something exactly. 4-3 hitting is a must. Absolute must. Can't double from the roof. I mean, the guy just escaped the checker and hit you. Four two comes in and hits. Six five fan. Okay, now this looks like a pass, right? Certainly looks like a pass to me. I don't think it was too good, so agree with the double and pass there.
Checkers matched up.
Okay, 4-3 for Ed. This is fine. 5-4 will hit on the 10 point. 2-6 comes in and plays 24 to 18, splitting from the back. You don't have any other 6 that makes any sense. Every other 6 exposes a direct shot and weakens your position. This way you hope you get missed and make the bar, or you get hit and then have a return shot there somewhere. He was just going to safety up, yeah, in the outfield. Ignore the checker on your bar point and just make a point in the outfield. Consolidate your racing lead. Now Ed makes the bar and plays 6-5, starting his board. 5-3 makes the 3 point. And 5-4 to make the 5. You can make the 4 point actually. Making the 5 is probably the right idea, you know. Play 13-8 with the 5. It's kind of weird to slot the point that's and create a gap on your 4 point plus you're stripping the 8 point. I would think 13-8 is a better distribution, and you know you don't want to create a gap. If you're art, yeah, you just play 6-3. I guess you could play 13-10 actually. 5-4 covers. Plays 8-4. Okay, he does this. 2-1. Yeah, now you are pretty much forced to play 13-10. I think you should have done it last roll when Ed had a blot. I mean, you want to unstack the midpoint. You don't want to break a point that you already have. You don't want to restack your midpoint or super stack your midpoint. 3 hits and ace makes the 8 point. No, I think you should make the 8 point. You don't, I mean, you don't want to play with 4 blots and leave fly shots from the roof. That one fans, so this, I would have liked to at least see him slow down a little bit there. Because that seemed like a pretty strong position. This just looks like a completely dead game for Art, right? This should be a quick pass. Kind of seemed like Ed missed a double last roll before he made his 4 point. And I don't even know if Art would have taken or not. Could it possibly have been too good there? Maybe. 5 comes down, 4 splits. 6-3 should hit and come down, as from Cheese Seminar. Oh, Art asked this question in Mochi's seminar, but I guess he forgot the answer. You should come down for an even score, and you should definitely come down when you're trailing in the match. Double 5 should hit on the 5-point. This is a good play. 5-1 hits and double hits. Nice roll. 4, bringing 2 checkers in. 5-1, just cover the 7. Play. You can play 20 to 15. I think 13-8 is better, yeah. I like this play. Double 6. Where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, double 6. You can make the 2-point. You can also just play 20 to 8, and then what? You have to find something else. Yeah, okay. Fourth 3. You can come in on the 3 and come out with the 4. You don't really have any. Yeah, I think this is a good play, right? Race is okay for you, as long as he doesn't roll something. I mean, that's pretty strong. That's gonna hit and make his 4-point. You know, you don't really rate to get hit and have a point made in front of you, but so it goes. It needs a very good roll to stay in this game. I mean, at least a 3. So 10 checker blitz. This is a definite pass for me. I mean, probably not too good with the 3 checkers back. Yeah, he does pass. Okay.
Horses, you gotta rotate them very carefully.
6-1 making the bar point. 6-2 runs out. Nope, don't touch that checker. Run from the back, yes. Good, good. 6-4 hits and comes down. Good play. Don't want to leave a shot. 4-2. You can. I think you come in on the 23 point. You're not really trying to escape, so you play 13-9. Yeah, the builder on the 9 point is nice, and you want to stay out of harm's way. 3-2 making the 4 point. And 6-2 for red is gonna hit. Yeah. 6-2 for art comes in and plays to the 18 point, 24 to 18, splitting, keeping the structure. All good. And 4-3 can just make the 16 point running away. I mean, you can make the 5 point, but then you're playing with a checker back there. You can make the 9 point, but then you're playing with a checker back there. Basically, if you just make the 16 point, and you're a favorite to get missed, and once you get missed, you have all your checkers totally free of that prime over there. Obviously, you could get hit later somehow, but that would be you'd be an underdog to get hit, right? Yeah, I don't love this idea. I'd rather him run out with the back checker. 2-1 can make the 5 point? Is that a play? This is probably the right play. Yeah, you button up some blots on your side of the board, you keep the 7 point. 5-2, 13-8 is the 5. You could play 6-4, but 8-6 makes a certain deal of sense. 4-1, you kind of want to play 22-18. You don't have a great ace, although 6-5 does help your position in some way. I think you like playing 6-5 actually, right? Like, it's very hard to develop your position if you don't do this. I think you're losing the race. Down by 10, 14, 11. The race isn't hopeless. But Art is behind in the race. This has some merit, but 6-5 really would start to improve your position, whereas it's hard to improve this, right? Almost every roll is going to be awkward like this one. So now you're slotting, but if you're slotting here, it's more dangerous because now Ed actually has his 5 point and a 4 prime in front of you. Luckily he misses. Ace coming up is a must, and then 5 coming down. 3-1 is a great roll. Hits off the edge and makes the 5 prime. 3-6 hits, comes in, jumps, does everything. And Ed can maybe even start looking at a cube here. I mean, he's up 6-4. He doesn't roll a good roll. Let's say he rolls like a, I don't know, 4-1. What would be bad here? Roll like a... Yeah, it's probably okay to take a roll here. It's not a whole lot of market loss. You kind of need to make the 4 point before you have a super strong game. I would think roll again. You know, given the score. This is a monster roll. Makes the ace, makes the 4. And Art flunks, so that should just be double and pass. I think even at score, you know, you are on the bar. You're down $1 million in the race. Okay, you have a 3 point game, but it's a 3 point game where you're on the bar. You know, it's not like a normal 3 point game where you're not on the bar. So you can potentially get gammoned, or, you know, Ed can just clear the midpoint while you're still on the bar and leave a very unlikely fly shot. So I agree with the pass. Good decision there. Six 1 for Ed, making his bar point. 6-3 running away. 2-1 hits. Okay, that's good. And 3-2 makes the anchor. The 3-point anchor, 22 point. Double 5, you can bring 3 down and slot your 5-point. You can make the deuce and ace points, putting 4 guys behind his anchor, but at least you build a board. I mean, boy. If you bring 3 down and slot your 5, like, what is the idea there? I think I would make the deuce and ace points. You know, at least you build a board. This just seems like not necessarily the slot you want. You're not really trying to prime him like he's trying to prime you, so he should play 13-9-6-5. Good play. Yeah, I mean, even if you make the 5-point if you're Ed, so now he has to hit. He can't, yeah, making the 5-point, you're not really making a prime in front of him because you're going to be losing the priming game. So he should hit and just hope he misses the checker there. Yeah, okay. Art comes in with the 3, makes his 5-point with the ace. Three-one, pretty good roll, makes that, and you can play 16-13. 4-3 is just 2 down from the midpoint. Getting maximum builders for the bar and the 4-point. 6-2 will hit. Very good roll. And on a 4-6, it comes in, plays 10-4. No reason not to. Ed could be eyeing a cube, but I do think that Art probably should take this one. All the 7, 6, and 5 checkers are stripped. He has 2 checkers behind the anchor on the ace point. And yeah, he's going to have lots of ways to leave a shot at some point in this game. Five two makes the 4-point, slots the 3-point. 6-4 for Ed, so 6 down, 4 must hit for lack of any alternative. Four five comes in, hits, covers, does everything. And whereabouts do you... Okay. Double ace comes in on the deuce point. Not entirely sure about the shift. A good play 7-5. But, you know, shifting has some merit also. Coming in with the 4. Okay. Two one must be 13-11, 7-6. Double aces for Art. That's kind of not a good roll. You have to shift to the 2-point because you're primed everywhere. Probably play 4-3, and I guess you can shift to the ace point actually, but that's pretty ugly. This does not. I don't want to put a third checker on a deep point. So you can make your ace point, or you can slot your 3-point and either make your 3-point or play the checker up from the back to the 22-point. Yeah, you have to make the deuce point. There's no getting around that. My first reaction was to make the ace point, but that's so many gaps. Yeah, for sure you have to make the deuce point. That's like a given almost. You could go 4-1 and 22 to. You could go 4-1 and 23-22, right? Actually, didn't see that one. This is great if you roll 9. What about 4-1 and 23-22? Okay. Art, I don't really think... Yeah, okay. So Art comes out with the 6. Keeps going with the 5. On a fan, this could get pretty exciting. 4 hits. 6 is going to come out. I mean, you better come out with the 6. There's pretty much no other play that makes any sense, right? You can't break apart your position. You can't leave a direct shot on your side of the board. You want to minimize blots. So you also want to disengage and get freedom. 3-1 comes in and hits. Good roll. Two 1 comes in and plays probably 13-11? No. Yeah, 6-4. Maybe it was 13-11, but I mean, this is so gross later. Double 3 is good. I mean, it just makes the bar point. And then you can play 23-20 with the last one. Probably 13-10, actually. Yeah, you have 13-10, then you cover the 21, you cover your 4 point if he steps up with a 3. And you also have 6s to escape, 3s and 2s to come out. Like, you could roll a 5 or a combination of 5s and 4s. 5-4 or a roll like that, but this is just like you're leaving an ace shot plus you're getting blasted on the 5 point with 6-3 2 combinations. And if he rolls a number like 5-3 where he comes up and comes in, then you don't have the extra checker on the 10 point to possibly hit or make your 4 point. So I like this move. Three up, right? What else? I guess you could safety a blot, but if you safety a blot, he's gonna move his checkers with almost any roll he can. It's not so clear, I guess. Like 6-2, he's gonna have to come out and just continue. Three 5, you must come out. Play with 1 blot. You get missed. Game is in good shape. Any other play leaves you with at least, 1 man back and potentially, you could play 24-21 7-2, but then you're just leaving as many, if not more, shots and creating a second blot. So I would think coming out should be better than this. And yeah, Art is thinking about requeuing now because, of the second blot, right? If he rolls a 2, random 2, he could win a gammon. On a 4 cube, that would be, pretty reasonable. I think this is a very easy take even at the score, even on a 4 cube. Not really convinced that white is a favorite, right? You have 3 men back, but I kind of like the recube. Yeah, good take. There's plenty of market losers. This will be one of them if Ed doesn't roll a very good number here. Good play reducing shots, I believe. 4-6 is a great roll, comes in, hits in the outfield. I mean, you better hit, yeah. Six, 4 fanning, not what Art wanted. Ace deuce will hit the outfield checker. Start with the ace and then look for a 2. Kind of makes sense to tidy up, sure. You could play 13-11, given that he has 2 on the bar. Getting an extra builder for the 5-point. This can make the 11-point, sure. I would think making the 11 makes a lot of sense, because then you have, you know, the open 5-point and you want builders there. You don't want to leave any particular shots, and if you do something like pick and pass, then you're breaking apart your position. You know, whether he comes in or not, you're gonna have to somehow put that position back together. Yeah, I don't love this idea. Alright, so now you've just killed a checker to your ace point. Three, 1 playing 12-8, okay. And 5-4 comes out. 6-2 runs away, and so Art has a reasonable kind of holding back game where, you know, he's got 2 anchors and Ed has 3 checkers out of play behind him. He's going to get a shot pretty quickly because, you know, Ed just doesn't have as many checkers to play with as he usually would. Whether he can hit the shot or not is a different story. This is a very good roll, right? Make the 12-point, play 8-6. I don't think you want to block 6s. You just want to decrease contact. 6-3. You can probably hold everything. Yeah, I like this play. Just be patient, you know, wait for him to come to you. 6-2, I don't think I'm gonna leave a shot. Right, let's say I go something like 12-4, I'm leaving 8 numbers to hit. That's a lot of shots. And the other guy has a very strong board, so I would just clear my 8-point. You could play 7-1, 6-4, but then you're way out of spares, and Art may want to leave with one of the anchors anyway. You know, if you clear the 8-point, at least you're not going to leave a shot there, and you create 2 spares on your 6-point. This would be better if you get missed, but the 8 shots are extremely expensive. And, you know, you might be able to do this later anyway and just play with 8 shots or 11 shots or whatever. You know, this is like almost a direct shot, basically. You know, you have 4-3, 6-1, 5-2, and 6-3, right? So this looks like the right play. 6-3 would have hit, does not. Comes to the 11. I don't think so. You leave him an ace-5, ace-4 to hit and cover. And do you really gain on anything? Is he going to volunteer an indirect shot anyway? Like if he just rolls like a 6-4 or something, is he going to actually give you that? Yeah, ace-ace. You're going to get pointed on. He'll play 2-1 and hit the checker in the outfield. And so now Art kind of has like a phantom deuce point kind of thing going on, but he's got 4 men back and doesn't have the second anchor, so it's not nearly as good as, you know, he has to actually come in on the deuce point, which he manages to do. Okay. I mean, he still has a long way from here. The 5-4 just makes the deuce point on his head, so he's going to be down to like a 3-4 from the roof or something along those lines. Failure to make the deuce point is probably very bad. Yeah, this is just the point you want to make. Double 4s will clear the 6 point, hit the other checker. It's actually a very good roll, I believe. Even though it creates a gap. Just don't roll like a 6-4 next time. That would be bad. 3-1. You have to play safe. You can't leave a shot. So 4-1 and 2-1. I mean, I can't see leaving a shot being a good idea. It's basically a direct shot again, right? Let's say you play 7-4, 2-1, or 7-6, 7-4. You're leaving a 12 number shot on the 6 point. If you play 7-4, 2-1, you're leaving 6-1, 3-1, 6-4, and 3-4. So again, 8 numbers. It's hard for me to believe that you rate to leave more than 8 numbers by just playing safe. You know, he's first Art would have to enter, then he would have to roll a number that leaves a shot. Seems kind of relatively unlikely. This is just immediate 8 shots. And, you know, yeah, this looks like the right play. (3-2), okay, manages to jump the prime. 3-1 and 6-1 would have kind of broken his board up a little bit more. I mean, yeah, I think you want to do this. Keep the board as strong as possible, and 3-2 is a great roll, clears a 7 and creates 2 spares on the high points. (3-2), I believe you just play 2 checkers to the deuce point. You don't need any gammon at all. And that must be safer, right? You get off double 6, double 5, double 4, and double 3. You're also that much closer to clearing the 4 point after you clear the 5 point. (5-1) clears the 5, but leaves an odd number. So we'll see. 3 up is of course exciting. Ace up, okay. All Alright, that looks like it's gonna be Jin.
Good match. Good match. Good match.
Nice match.
Oh.
Well done, Ed. Ed is on to the round of 16, and Art is into the fighters bracket. Alright. So long, viewers. Unfortunately, I can't interact with any of you. I think I'm gonna be out of here on Sunday, so I don't know if you want to do something tomorrow. I'll be around tomorrow.
Hi.
Hey.
What do you think?
What can you do?
I agree with the, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
And the take.
Yeah, super.
I was pretty happy when I was happy for Lewis and Bonnie. Like always, potential threat of